Line up, you f***ing nerds. Who wants a shot at the champ?
They bring the heat.
Francis Ngannou is the hardest puncher in the history of fighting.
They bring the knowledge.
If you think this fight is going 5 rounds, you are out of your mind.
They bring you the picks.
The dog is getting it done in this one.
We deliver every single week. We're bringing the heat, ladies and gentlemen.
The money line.
Don't miss it on the MMA Experts channel each week. The money line is live. Just me today as far as the host, Mike Finch, currently cruising somewhere in the Caribbean. He's not going to be here, but what I do have are his picks, which we'll get into in a little bit, and I'll definitely timestamp that up. We'll talk about each one of Mike Finch's picks. He's got his lock. He's got his parlay. I'll list out everything that he has, and I'll give you my take alongside of his. And then obviously you guys kind of already know my take throughout the week. You don't get that back and forth between me and the Finch, but we do got a guest joining us. I'll be joined by Askar Askar, who just got a big win, and he'll be coming through in the next 30 minutes or so. I already sent him the link. He's in, and Askar's a good dude, and I like him, bro. He's a cool motherfucker. He's a good fighter, and he's a fun guy to chat with, and he's got some takes on the fights this weekend. So there's good shit coming on the episode, even though it's not your typical episode. Make sure you guys run the likes all the fucking way up to the top. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'll be doing a live Q&A for the next little bit, and then I'll get in with the Finchman's picks, and then Askar will come through. So we got a nice show plan. We still got quality coming, even though it's not me and the Finchman both for you guys. Askar's back after a big win. Let's go. Yeah, man, I'm glad to have him coming off a big win. Coming through, he'll give his takes on this weekend. And, he'll probably talk about what's next for his career. So I'm looking forward to chatting with him. This is a tough one. Love Holland's mouth, but the OG Wonder Boy, I got to go with my heart on this one. Come on, Wonder Boy Thompson. All right, Skank Hunt, you're going the Wonder Boy side here. Okay. The Alcohol and Gaming Commission of Ontario notified sportsbooks today they must stop offering and accepting wagers on Ultimate Fighting Championships events, thanks to James Krause. Well, let me tell you something about this. I think that is some deep shit, and it's really unfortunate for anyone living in the Ontario area. So all those Torontonians, they ain't going to be betting on the fights. They won't be betting traditionally through the sportsbook. But there are ways around that. Cryptocurrency betting is definitely something that I would recommend anyone in that area to look towards, and then getting your money there, transferring over. It sucks that you have to, skip through hoops and shit like that. So you don't have the same, access to the bets previously like you did. And it sucks that it doesn't seem like it's going to be coming back. I don't know. I feel like it's a very tricky spot. I mean, fight betting's been going on for so long. James Krause situation honestly sucks. I don't know. This is intense. Like, maybe he's going to end up actually getting some serious trouble for this, but we shall find out. No, the Finchman's all good, John Jones' cellmate. He's just, he's cruising right now, man. So he couldn't make the show, but I got his picks. Stay tuned for him. What's up, buddy? What's up? I haven't been watching, but I've been looking at how good Team USA is doing. We're in that biatch. Yo, what's up, my man, Justin Mack? How do you think Sanko is feeling about banging Krause and this massive bombshell? I mean, I don't know if she did it for sure, but I do think she could have done it. And let's say that she did. I haven't been seeing her on the UFC broadcast. I wonder if she got into some type of trouble for, I don't know, dating in the office. I know that James Krause isn't a UFC employee at this point because he's no longer a fighter there. But that could be something that's frowned upon. Yeah, weird situation. I don't think Laura Sanko's happy, though. I'll tell you guys that. I do have to screenshot and then post this up on Instagram that I'm live, letting the people know they can check us out. I think I'm going to do a video after this, and I'm curious. You guys in the comments definitely let me know. I'm going to do the Cejudo and Sterling reaction to what I think about that matchup, and give you guys my early take on that one, because I actually think I have a pretty good side there. Your new job got you starting early, but you came in to say hi. I appreciate you, bro. Yeah, guys, make sure you smash the fucking likes. Run the likes all the way up, lad. Let me get this damn thing posted on IG, man. So if you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I'm posting on the Instagram, bro. It's the Instagram. I should have done that before the show, but, you know, shit happens sometimes. And boom, boom, it's up. Boom, it's up. You have a really good feeling about Holland? I feel pretty good too about him. I picked him as a lock. You love Holland's mouth. That is a crazy thing to say. Where was that said? All the way at the top. You love Holland's. He's trying you, Skank Hunt. I'm sorry. That's funny though. Good night, my man. Good night. I'm a big Wonder Boy fan, but he's way out of his prime right now. I agree. I think he's gonna lose. You got Holland to win. Good shit. You must be in Ontario, Mr. Alex McDonald. That sucks. You're in Ontario, COD streamer. I'm sorry to hear that shit, dude. That's unfortunate. I didn't read into it. The Krause situation. What is his relation to Ontario? Yeah, I don't know that he has any direct connections there, but because of the insider info, I guess now they're banning MMA betting, which is kind of crazy to me. They're banning it, yeah. You can still bet through Bet Online. You can still use any of the offshore books. You just have to use cryptocurrency. What the fuck? You think Betway still works? Betway took off UFC. That sucks, dude. I'm sorry to hear that. That is bullshit. You're not going to convert to Bitcoin to bet, but that's a big L, man. Why did they even do this? I guess they're concerned about inside info, man. And I guess they're worried about people having an upper hand on making bets against the sports book. So they're looking at it as a way that they, you know, could end up losing that fucking dinero. How's your week been, bro? Hype for UFC? The week's been pretty good, man. Just been getting it in, the normal work, and then hitting it here with episode of Moneyline without the Finch. So it's kind of just like a live stream Q&A, but it's still titled Moneyline. It's that day. I'm giving you the Finch's picks, and I also got Askar Askar coming through. I'll probably discuss Finch's picks with Askar as well. The parlay is Marshall, Valdez, MJ, Holtzman, Hill, plus 4,500. You know, I picked every one of them to win besides MJ. I think MJ is going to really get you into trouble, man. Banning UFC betting, but not MMA. So you could still bet Bellator. That's even crazier. That doesn't make sense. I'm gambling from London, UK, going strong. Listen, shout out to you in London, my brother. Yeah, guys, make sure you like and subscribe. Our guy's right. Our guy's right. Our guy, Akin Zuleher. How do I say it? Akin Zuleher. Much love to you, bro. What do you think of Tuivasa's chances? They teeter around the margin of 30 to 45%, I'll say. Like 30 to 45%. I got him losing, man. I think Pavlovich is going to beat him. But if Tuivasa cracks him on the chin, anyone can go out in that weight class. This is a tricky card to predict, man. There's a lot of tough fights. Ribas, Holland, you like that play? I like both those picks. That's interesting. It doesn't make sense. You can bet everything besides UFC. Hey, Ohio goes legal for betting in 30 days. Let's go. Hey, listen, man. It's doing well in the States, but Canada, they're fucking shutting you down betting UFC. Listen, Diakese can't fight. I think Diakese can fight. I think Diakese can wrestle at least. And he can strike. I mean, he struck with Fiziev, dude. And PFL, even after the pre-recorded fight card, it's some weird vendetta against the UFC. It's probably because fucking the UFC is a pretty free platform. And then Canada isn't as much a fan as that type of free speech. Yeah, only UFC is banned on Betway. That's stupid, man. That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. That's fucking stupid. Inside info, lock them down. Listen, they don't want you at the bottom getting any shot to make any money, even if it's fucking gambling $100. Where's the Huntington Beach Finch? The Huntington Beach bad boy is cruising somewhere in the Caribbean right now, man. He's enjoying vacation. He's probably right now drinking a pina colada. I don't know, man. I don't know what he's up to on that cruise, but I think he's having a blast, dude. You mainly bet UFC? That fucking sucks. I'm sorry to hear this, dude. COD streamer, I highly suggest you find a way around that loophole, man. There's always a loophole. Her Bodog still accepts bets from Ontario, but I can't confirm. I believe it. I believe that there's going to be somebody that accepts bets from Ontario. Dos Anjos is a step below 155. Dos Anjos, you're on Barberena. Dude, I think he might be better up a weight, though. I mean, you look at the guys. You look at RDA. I think that people, and I get it, right? They get a little forgetful of the work that he's done. Let's look at RDA at 170. He returns to the weight class after, 2020? So we're looking at about almost 2 years, man. 2 months. He lost to Michael Chiesa. Michael Chiesa is a very hard grappling matchup, the polar opposite of Barberena. But when you look back in 2019, he fought Leon Edwards for 5 rounds. He beat Kevin Lee in a clear decision. Usman beat him. Covington beat him. He's fought the top tier guys at 170 and has never been really like fucked up badly as far as getting stopped or anything. He loses clear decisions. And then Fiziev ends up sleeping him in a fight that he was coming on strong late. He had good success against Moicano. Before that, he had a good win against Paul Felder. Granted, it was short notice Felder, short notice Moicano, but it was full action Fiziev. I know he got stopped, but ultimately Fiziev is pretty top caliber. I think Dos Anjos can still win this thing, but I do understand concerns with as wide as the line is. And also for the simple fact, Barberena is a tricky southpaw that throws constantly. RDA could find himself caught with shots, but I expect him to engage the grappling and really find success there. Thoughts on the Derek Lewis curse? Every fighter since 2014 who beat Derek Lewis went on to lose to their next fight. Is Pavlovich the next victim? That's interesting. Huh. You know, I'm going to say no, but who knows? What cruise is he on? I'm going to call his hotel room and say hi. I don't know the cruise that he's on, brother. You're also on Barberena, man. You feel like you can catch him in 15 minutes? I respect that side, especially at the odds, but I do think he loses. The parlay is this guy's Valdez KO, Rowe KO, Mark decision, Ribas finish only, Pearce to win, and over a round and a half. RDA money line. Good luck to all. Good luck to you, bro. Good parlay. I like it, man. RDA is a great fighter, but fatherhood is catching up to him now. You mean fatherhood or father time? RDA already has won the belt, and I don't feel like he's at that level anymore. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think he's going to win, but the odds are ugly. Activate A. With all the UFC news, Roberto Soldic versus Murad Ramzanov is getting shadowed. Crazy good debut fight for RoboCop in 1FC. Well, it's simply that UFC is like the premier organization stateside, and that news is always going to overtake one championship, man. But that is a high-level fight, and Soldic is a problem. Do you think Krause is done with the UFC? Also feel, does this have an effect? Moreno not having a feeling Figgy beats him again? There's a good chance Figgy could beat him again. But I don't think James Krause has anything to do with that. But with James Krause, I'll say this. With James Krause choosing to engage in, the activity that he did, I don't see him being allowed to corner fighters. And I really think he's at risk of getting in some serious legal trouble. So I wish the best for him because, I know he was just trying to make a buck. But listen, you can't fuck around, man. You can't fuck around. Yeah, man, the lines are way too wide. I think Barberena makes it very competitive. I could see him, especially on the striking, he's going to be competitive. He throws a lot of volume. He doesn't stop punching. Took a shot on Dolidze and Holland to clean up. What'd you think? With Dolidze, he definitely could pull this thing through, but Jack Hermansson is not an easy out. And with Kevin Holland, I do think he pulls this thing through. Yeah, you could win that one. I don't think it's impossible. What are my underdog picks? So as far as dogs are going, like if you're talking about underdog actual picks or like underdogs that I think could win that might be worth your bet, let me know because there is a difference between the two. There's a fucking difference. Sean O'Malley thinks that Cejudo's going to get tapped. Sean O'Malley thinks Cejudo's going to get tapped. Ooh, I think I don't know, man. So do people think he knew Minna was hurt? Yeah. They do. That's what it seems like is true, that he had the inside info. The lines went crazy. Bro, we all know Nunes bet against herself in the first Pena fight. Why is Krause the one to get in trouble? I don't think that she did, bro. I think she was actually trying, and she just fucking fell flat in her face there. I don't mind the inside betting too much, to be fair, because fuck the bookies. But Krause had a super shady pyramid scheme going on in his Discord. Yeah, I was never a part of it, man, so I have no idea about that Discord. But I will tell you this. They made some money with that fucking Minner fight. You went dog crazy on this card. I respect it. Actual underdogs that I think will win. I like Valdez the most. Angela Hill. There's a chance Estela Nunes could pull this one through against Jauregui, but I know it's very unpopular. People have Jauregui as the lock of the week. So, yeah, I would say there's a few. Those are the three that I like pick-wise. I get the side of Phil Rowe a lot. I get the side of Roman Dolidze a lot, and I get the side of Tai Tuivasa too. I think those are like 6 dogs that I can see people really being like, yo, I'm teetering the line on that one. So bets that I am on this week right now, Moneyline Kevin Holland, Moneyline Genaro Valdez. Parlay still in the making. I don't want to go after it just yet, considering also that Ribas sub line, which I brought up in this week's best MMA bets. I think at plus 600, it's kind of too good. So honestly, I should throw something down on ASAP. But the parlay, still debating because I am planning. I have the list. I'll just list them off from what was yesterday, but I have RDA, Nicolau, Diakese, but I haven't confirmed it yet. I do want to see the scales. When RDA gets up there, I could end up shifting it to Pearce, Nicolau, Diakese, which is going to be like plus 100. It's not great plus money, but it's a fucking parlay that I'm pretty fucking confident in. And then I might hit like a Hail Mary one. Mate, what do you think about championship fights, Soldik versus Razmanov? Listen, man, those guys are high-level fighters. I should probably be watching a bit more one championship, but I tend to not end up seeing one, bro. Anthony Cassier debut tomorrow, Icon FC, NCAA Division I National Wrestling Champ at Penn State. I wonder how he's going to do. I wish him well. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing? Most overrated fighter ever. Your thoughts? You say Rousey. You think Ronda Rousey's the most overrated? Most overrated that actually had success, or like most overrated, period? Let's say most overrated that had some relative success. Rousey's a tricky one because she was killing the women she was fighting until she wasn't. Who the fuck is the most overrated? I mean, like casual opinion, I guess I love Kimbo Slice, but he was overrated as far as how good people thought he was on the come up. Recently, a guy that was overrated, Albert Duraev, I think was a little overrated recently. And then obviously he's taking some loss now. But like huge busts that are at the top. I don't know. You guys let me know some names, man, because nothing's jumping. Cannonier versus Strickland. I think I early picked Cannonier too. You think that will pull through? I do like that one, man. Do you think Pip will ever go to UFC? I could see it one day. I would like to see it. I'm curious to see how it goes, but I don't know. I think he's pretty comfy in Bellator, and he's going to get more money there, and I don't see the UFC like clamoring at the bit to have him. I don't think they see him as a huge value investment that's going to win him a lot of money, whereas like Michael Chandler has that crazy all-American marketability. It's nice to see Holland and Wonderboy friendly, but this is a close fight. Do you agree with that? I definitely think it can be a close fight. I mean, on the feet, Wonderboy is incredible, but Kevin Holland has a little bit of that edge with the explosiveness and power. I think he could land some fucking big punches and do some real fucking damage, man. So you guys just kind of know the side that I'm feeling here. It's Holland to win. But I do have the special guest in the chat coming through. So if I didn't get to your questions, I'll promise I'll get to them and definitely ask away. I'll have Askar answering some questions too. I think he'd like it. Let me bring my guy in.
Let's go,
bro? What is up? How you doing?
Good. How are you, bro?
I'm doing well, man. Just excited for some fights, dude. It was off week from the UFC for me last week, so I'm ready. I'm clamoring at the bit, bro.
Damn, you weren't in the PFL?
Of course I watch PFL too, but it's not the same, man. It's not the
It's
same.
not.
Come
It's
on.
not.
It's not the same.
It's
I like
not.
PFL. It's not the same.
Yeah,
Bro,
it's not the same. That's true.
I officially now I'm doing PFL predictions next season because like I had challenged the people. I'm like, yo, if I get 150 likes on the video, I'll do it. I got 350. So I'm like, all right, looks like
Oh,
we're
damn.
hitting PFL, bro. So
Yeah.
PFL's got some fans. I like it, but it's not UFC.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. I'm happy with fucking the UFC's back though.
Same, bro. I'm excited. This card's pretty damn good, dude. I feel like for the fight night cards, this is kind of as good as it gets for the vast majority outside of maybe like that UFC London card, several months back.
Yeah, that's true. This is a good card. It has some good names on it. I seen this thing that was they posted the other day. It was like UFC Orlando in 2015, and it had like Kamaru versus Leon on the prelims, and like what I mean, Donald Cerrone versus RDA for the main event. And it's like it could easily be one of those cards where some of these guys could be the next stars of the UFC.
Yeah, dude, there's good shit. I like some of the prospects coming up. I like some of the OGs. I like striker versus striker in the main with Holland and Wonderboy. Kung Fu versus karate, bro. That's not how they're selling it. But I was watching a little bit of the little face-to-face, and Kevin Holland was saying, yeah, bro, I did Kung Fu, and he was talking about the differences between karate and that. So that was interesting, man. So I like this fight.
Yeah, it's definitely a good matchup. I'm excited to see how Kevin Holland does with a guy that's not going to try to wrestle him.
Yeah, facts, dude. Now, let me ask you something, bro. How's everything been in training for you? I know you just got a recent win. So how you feeling? You feeling pretty good? You ready to rock?
I'm feeling great. It's always good to be coming off a dub, Confidence is high. Everything's fucking morale is high. But, yeah, I feel good. Just got that dub. Just focused on what's next now, That's the crazy thing about this game is you get that win, you get that fight out the way, and then it's just like, what's next, So now I'm just waiting on here. It's been the last 2-3 years of my life. They're like, you're on a short notice list. You're on a short notice list. But I'm focused on just booking another fight. I'm hoping to fight again, hopefully in February of next year, and then get the ball rolling. I know Contenders is coming back next year, and I don't see why I want to main event a show on that next year, hopefully.
Yeah, that'd be pretty freaking sweet, bro. The Contender Series is that path now, man. Like the Ultimate Fighter was the shit for so long, but it's definitely slowed down with how they're doing it. I honestly feel like I could save the Ultimate Fighter, bro. I think if they said, listen, this is how I do it. I'll tell you this. So I think you get rid of this 6-figure contract BS thing where they're paying them $20,000 to fight for 5 fights. Like it's $100,000 to win the show. You get $100K. The UFC has plenty of money to do that. So if you do the Ultimate Fighter, you get a chance at 6 figures off the bat, and then they'll give you whatever standard contract. But some prize money, I think you incentivize it with that. I do think the concept of the show is still good, but what they need is coaches that bring eyes, man. Like if you're a hardcore fan, you want to see rivals coaching tough. Do I really want to see Amanda Nunes and Juliana Pena? It's not that I don't respect their knowledge and think they can't be great coaches, but if you told me it was Colby Covington Usman, imagine that season. Bro.
Yes.
The numbers would have hit.
I don't understand why they don't do stuff like that. I don't understand.
I don't know. I don't know if it's like a self-sabotage where it's like they're trying to kill off the Ultimate Fighter again. I really don't know. They're lazy. I think it's like they have it there. But also, if you look at the talent from the Ultimate Fighter guys that come in as opposed to Contender Series, in my opinion, there's a level difference. The Contender Series guys just look better, man. Ricky Tercios, recent winner, and it was at your weight class too, 135. I'm not saying he's a bad fighter, but he jumped in the fight right after. He's losing right away to Ayman Zahabi, who I wasn't all that high on.
But don't even get me wrong. That whole season, like a lot of those guys were even beginners. It's like I don't know. I tried out for the Ultimate Fighter twice, and the funny thing is that was the one that I was supposed to be on until they signed me to the UFC. But so I probably would have been on that. But the 45 season is the one I tried on, and I remember they put guys on because they just had big personas. You know what I mean? Because the producers, at the end of the day, you do show up at the tryouts, you roll, you do mitts, and obviously the guys, the cream of the crop is going to come on top. But then after that, there's the last test is the interview with the producers, and that's the one where it's like, okay, we can tell this guy's good, but his personality isn't there. We don't need him for this show. We need somebody like, that the Delon Perry kid, because he's crazy and he's going to be in everybody's face. But truthfully, he's straight garbage, that guy.
So realistically, I'm surprised you didn't make it though, man. You're a big personality. You're a talkative dude.
I mean, the 45, the one I did was the 45 season, the undefeated. They put me as an alternate. Okay. You know what I mean? They put me in as an alternate at the time, and then they ended up nobody got injured, so they pushed me. And then they were trying to put me on that 35 season with Ricky Torchalos and those kids, but I ended up getting signed, and then you know what I mean. The fucking thing happened, but everything's written, bro. I guess I wasn't meant to be on the Ultimate Fighter. You know, I'll show myself in a different way. But honestly, another thing I feel like would help was if they do 2 Ultimate Fighters a year. The one a year is just not enough. You know what I mean?
That's another thing. It's just they're not consistently putting it out. I really believe it's slowed down significantly because they're just not really putting that effort into it. As soon as Contender Series came to the forefront, the Ultimate Fighter, they're like, yo, we're throwing this on the back burner. It's like they're still making content for it, but it's not as good at all. Like, dude, you remember Ultimate Fighter back in the day. The first season that I went and like watched, like when I was like of age, where I really could understand what's going on, it was Ultimate Fighter 10. But like I went back and I've watched all the seasons. That was the freaking heavyweight season. It was Kimbo Slice was on. It was Rashad and Rampage, man. Roy Nelson, Matt Mitchell, Brendan Schaub. Like, dude, some savages from that season. So it's a show that can do amazing numbers. And I still see clips on freaking social media from the early seasons. So I do think they should give it a shot, bro. As a hardcore, I want Tough back, man.
Hell yeah, baby. That'd be the shit. It's like if you're not a real MMA fan if you didn't go back and watch those Ultimate Fighters, you know. And then I heard there's a new season coming up next year. They're doing I don't know if it's like it should be talked about, but it's like 55 170s. The next season they're doing this upcoming year, and it just goes back. It's like they're gonna do one weight or the 2 weight classes one time. It's like they need to be doing multiple weight classes, like 2 seasons at a time or something. You know.
That's so true because you never get in line. You doing if you're willing to do 45, 35, you're not gonna go to 55.
Yeah.
So it's like this, then you're waiting another year.
Exactly.
Dude, it's the road to the UFC, bro. It's definitely like a tricky one because some guys, it's like, bro, they come in. It's like, is this guy even qualified to be here? He's in. Other guys, it's he's got 20 fights, bro. What the hell's going on,
bro? Did you see that kid that just got signed? He's fighting December 10th. He's 6-0. He's fighting that's the kid off the Contender Series, 135, Steve Cazzola or something.
I gotta check it out, bro.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He has a crazy long nickname, but 6-0, 6 first-round finishes. But for the love of God, Steve, like, bro, this guy has no motherfucking opponents. The best dude he fought was 4-4, and I'm like, what is going on? What are the qualifications? But at the end of the day, I feel like all the matchmakers care is not about the opponent's records that you're fighting. It's more about the finishing ability of a fight. You know, they need those finishes because they need the put you in the UFC and see you finish people and make highlight reels. But at the end of the day, it's like if his caliber opponents are so soft outside the UFC and he's finishing them, yes, but when he gets to the UFC, he's not finishing nobody.
That's the facts. I mean, it's like the fucking higher you climb up, the more tricky the matchup's going to be. It's like narrow margin for error too. I mean, you see it in boxing, bro. You put people out there that are fighting for, 10 fights, 15 fights, and they fight salamis all the way through. Yeah. And then you get that real test and you find out some guys pass, some guys fail. I'll tell you a quick little story, bro. There was this local dude. He lived in my town, nasty boxer.
Where's this at?
This is in Florida, bro. Tampa, Florida. Yeah. So he was a good boxer, had like a lot of potential. He was a young dude, he's in his 20s. He boxed his whole life. It got to the higher level. They gave him a tough fight. He lost the 2nd round knockout. Okay. They pumped the brakes. They put him back. He wins a fight by knockout. Then he does one more fight against another tough test, knocks him on 20 seconds. The dude never fought again and faded into oblivion, unfortunately. But like, wow, you find out, you know what I'm saying, what they're about. You are a guy. So really what I'm getting is you're a guy that is proven. Like, yeah, you might not have the perfect record, but that's, in my opinion, to think you're going to be undefeated fighting in the cage. It's crazy. I mean, I know Habib did it, but there's certain circumstances that work out. That's one guy. So, like, I think, like, dude, like, it's not loss, it's learned. It's great experience, and you've been in there. You fought through. So, I think the UFC should already sign you, bro. I told you this already, but it is what it is, bro. No, we're just waiting on them to get their call for you. I think Contender's the way because, dude, not only are you now in the UFC, you come in with momentum because there's a lot of free fans that don't watch LFA, don't watch CFFC, don't watch whatever else, but they'll always be tuned into Contender. So you build a nice fan base, you get a win, they post it on their channel. So I think Contender Series is your way anyways, bro.
That's the truth, bro. I believe you on that. I think that it's going to be the way for me to move in. And at the same time, it's like at the end of the day, these guys, these 6-0, 5-0, 8-1 guys, like that are like, oh man, it's UFC or bust. It's like I need it now. I need to try to change my life. It's like go ahead, do that. Then you're going to sizzle out after 2 or 3 UFC fights. I don't want a late notice fight into the UFC. Every guy that takes a late notice fight in the UFC starts with an L. You know what I mean? I want a camp. I want to be able to cut the weight correctly, not do a drastic water cut and fuck myself up and not have a good performance. I want to be able to have a good camp, a good cut, a good performance, feel good in the cage and and perform and come off a win off the first fight. That's what I feel like is the most important like dictator of people's careers. Like when you start your first fight in UFC and you catch an L, it's like just a sour note to start. And obviously guys turn around from that, but I just don't want to be one of those guys. I want to start off with a nice dub, a highlight, a showcase, and put myself out there, you know?
Listen, man, I think Contender Series is going to be your way, dude. That's the in, and I think you'll
Hope
get
so.
the call soon. So we're looking at a little turnaround time, maybe February. I think that's good. You get one more in to like stamp your name.
Yes, sir.
And then let's go, man. Hopefully, like they give you a good little opportunity on the mic. You call somebody out, bro. I'm not trying to fucking tell you what to do. You know what I'm saying? But I would write the blueprint, bro. I think the way to do it, you focus on your Contender Series fight. You're looking in that UFC rankings, bro, and we pick a name that you're going to say, maybe one or two of them, and you write after. You say, listen, it's my time now, blah, blah, blah. Call that realistic name out. You probably end up getting that fight, and then it brings that hype, man.
I love it.
Already calling people out, bro.
I love it.
To do it, man.
Hey, dude, listen, as soon as I get this February fight, we get contenders booked, I'm talking to you. We're going to look down the list.
Listen, bro, I'm an all-natural promoter, bro. That's my true gift, bro. You know,
I love it.
But listen, bro, we got UFC this weekend, and I want to get your takes. I know you have, a handful of the fights that you wanted to bring up, man. So I want to start with the first one that you're feeling like talking about here, man. We can start like bottom up. I know you mentioned, let me bring it up, man, because you might not remember off the top of your head, bro. But I got
no, I remember all of them, baby. First,
you remember
every
man.
single fight, but the ones I liked are the ones I talked to you about.
All right, so let's start it off with the Clay Guida fight. Clay Guida is taking on Scott Holtzman. I think it's a fun matchup here. Clay's an OG of OGs,
yes,
and
sir.
Scott Holtzman's not fucking young in the game either. He's 39, just a lot less fights. My personal take, bro, I'll tell you, I'm concerned about the miles that Clay Guida has here against Holtzman, who's pretty nasty and close. I think he's got a little power too, and he can wrestle.
He got
the about this fight.
Yeah, so that's where it's like I look at some of these matchups when they make them, on the cards, and it's like a few catch your eyes, and this is one of those fights, where you're like, damn, Clay Guida's fighting again, which is sick because he's an OG. I've trained with Clay a couple times, and Clay's a super nice dude. But man, when I seen that matchup with Scott, I was like, that's not a good matchup for Clay. Scott could wrestle, he could stuff the takedown, he got that heat in the pocket, and he's just one of those dudes where a lot of dudes that took Scott Holtzman out are high caliber dudes like Benil and all those tough dudes. And I think he even fought Gamrot, if I'm not mistaken. But I feel like this is a bad matchup for Clay. I feel like it's going to be a sprawl and brawl kind of mentality from Scott, and he's going to end up clipping Clay in the pocket. And maybe he won't put him to sleep, but he'll for sure take the decision from him.
Yeah, I like Scott Holtzman to win. I'm thinking probably on the decision side.
Yeah.
But knockout, like it wouldn't blow my mind if he stopped Clay with an elbow or something like that, like in close range.
Yeah, uppercut or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I think though decision is your safe bet because Clay Guida, he's not chinny, bro. Now you're not in the UFC yet, bro. So still technically you're allowed to talk betting, but as soon as the UFC comes through, you know what I'm saying? They say you can't bet. You know what I'm saying? John,
good thing I got brothers. Good thing I got brothers then.
Facts. Dude, no joke. They said the whole family can't bet.
What's this?
Bro,
Really?
I read all the info. They said that
no way.
Their UFC or anybody, you can't have your brother, you can't have no association with the fighters. You have any association, like I can interview you and stuff, but as far as if I was in the gym with you, you can't bet on the fight.
That's insane.
Yeah.
What? I did not know that.
Joke, bro. They just banned betting in Ontario for the UFC.
I seen that, but it's also like I can't have like somebody bet for me.
Listen, bro. All I'm saying is do that at your own risk. That's what I'll say.
Crazy. That's crazy. I don't know. Well, now I'm gonna take advantage of it right now. I'm gonna keep betting on these.
You need to, bro. Let me read out the lines for you here. Clay Guida is sitting at plus 155. Holtzman at minus 180.
That's not bad.
I like Holtzman at that tag. Like I think he can do this thing.
What's Holtzman by decision?
I'd say he gets it done decision. As far as the prop, let's see here, sitting at plus 185. So that's pretty solid. That's for a likely method of victory. Yeah. I like that one, man. I think Scott Holtzman's going to get the hand raised, probably decision, but like, I don't know. I have this weird feeling that he might catch Clay, but decision I'm more confident on.
Yeah. That's a decision, or maybe, sometimes I throw in those double chances, but just in case. That's
not that KO or decision. Those are my two that I would see, man.
Yeah.
Let's go, dude. Let's go. Let's see here. Hold on. I want to timestamp that thing, man, so the people can go back and watch the first breakdown, man. Let me write this thing down real quick. This is normally what I do is I have all the graphics on screen, right? Fight by fight, but it's an off week because the Finch man's out. So boy didn't get to work on that,
My boy's on vacation, huh?
He's chilling, bro. He's chilling.
Yeah, I
saw.
I was like, he's turning up. He's
yeah.
Cruise.
He's chilling big time, bro. Money. All right. Let's keep running with the fights that you're feeling here, man. Darren Elkins and Jonathan Pearce. Are you going to blow my mind and pick Darren Elkins in this one, bro?
Of course.
Interesting. He's doing it. Okay. I had a feeling, bro.
Of course.
I had a feeling.
Another Midwest guy, another dude I trained with before, and Darren Elkins is a dog. You got a dog in him. I feel like Darren Elkins is the kind of guys, like, if you can't style on him on the feet, you can't really take him out, you know? And Jonathan Pearce doesn't got that kind of striking. You know, I feel like the Christian Rodriguez fight, like, kind of, I don't know, maybe Jonathan Pearce wasn't feeling himself, but it exposed a lot in his game in terms of striking. And I feel like this is going to be one of those where Elkins doesn't stop moving forward on him. No way he's going to wrestle Elkins. You know, Elkins is going to be in his chest and taking him down on top of him, dogging him. And I don't think Pearce got the power in his hands or the submission capabilities to take Elkins out. So dude, I honestly think Elkins by decision is, the best bet for this one.
All right. I like that, man. And you're going like super against the grain. I don't know if you've been seeing people's takes, bro, but everybody's all over Jonathan Pearce with some high confidence, man. But yeah, I like that you're on Elkins, and I do agree. I mean, he's a fucking junkyard dog, bro. This is a
for real,
savage.
Bro. Listen, that's the only dude I've ever trained with. That motherfucker sweats sand, bro. Sand.
That's crazy, bro.
Sand comes out of his pores, bro. That's how hard he goes. Like if you ask a doctor why that happens, it's you get to the point where you sweat so much, your sweat starts calcifying. That's how much that guy grinds, bro. That guy grinds so hard, sand is coming out of his skin.
That's insanity, bro.
You know what I mean?
I didn't know that was a true thing. I thought you were joking around. That's actually crazy.
Literally.
What?
That's a real. And I've trained with some tough dudes, and I've never seen anybody get to that point, And he pushes through it, and I'm like, bro, that's crazy. This guy's engine is legit unlimited.
No, he's a monster. He's an OG of OGs, man.
Yeah, legit.
But I'm concerned about him being an OG of OGs, that the miles might be catching him a bit here. And a young Jonathan Pearce that's long, not a great striker, but has okay stand-up. But at the tag that he's at, it's stupid, man. The line is crazy. It's minus 475 for Jonathan Pearce.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's too wide.
Yeah, that's crazy.
75 Elkins, other side too. So
yeah, that's crazy. Even for that fight, if you're not leaning towards one guy, I'd definitely go to the over on that one.
You think it's going? So you think it's probably going the full 3?
It's going to decision.
Bro, it's actually plus money for that, plus 105.
Really? That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, you think Jonathan Pearce is gonna finish Dan Elkins, bro? He gonna finish?
I don't. I personally don't think so.
Yeah.
No.
See what I mean? Like, come on.
Yeah,
and Dan Elkins ain't finishing nobody. Dan Elkins is gonna grind you into the ground.
The only way he's finishing you is if you're gassed. That's when he can come back. He fatigues you, and then he'll get you out. But I do think it's going the full 3, man. And I don't hate the idea of that over. And I'll read off you because I know you like Elkins by decision. That's wide. Holy. It's sitting at plus 775, actually.
Wow. That's definitely sprinkle something on that.
That's sick, dude. That's you. Listen, you're finding these money lines right here, man. You're the line hunter right now.
I'm trying.
That's sick.
Listen, my thing every week is I try to get 2 or 3 that I can put together. You know what I mean? Because I feel like these big parlays that all these guys try to make, like these 8 fight parlays or 7, 6 fight parlays, where they're 80% of them are favorites, and it's like, bro, this is a game of underdogs. That's what betting is. It's like trying to get the underdog price. Like you don't put 5 favorites on a parlay and just be like, and then when it breaks, you go, man, I'm an idiot. It's like, yeah, you shouldn't be betting all favorites. You're not gonna make money that way.
You know, attack the dog city, bro.
Exactly. Yeah. 2 or 3 fights, 2 or 3 picks where it's dogs and your money. You profit.
Dude, like this one right here, the one you got is money. And I compare the long shot fucking plays to this. It's like hitting the fucking lotto, bro. If you have more than 2 fighters, 3 in the parlay, your likelihood of success drops substantially there, especially like, dude, and I've gotten into, you're like, no, all 5 of these favorites are gonna win. You know it for a fact, and then one of them ends up getting stopped or something happens. So yeah, I'm with you.
Less don't even start robberies. I had that Islam 281 card, I think it was, or 280. I had every single fight picked for the main card, and the only fight I had wrong was the Peter Yan one. Because that fucking robbery. You know what I mean?
Your best buddy, Sean O'Malley.
I got so fucking heated with that. I was like, the only one. I'm like, bro, I was gonna come up with some big money too. I was like, God damn it. Of course it'd be that one.
Dude, how do you feel? Sean O'Malley's the number 1 ranked guy in the weight class, bro. That's crazy.
I mean, fuck the rankings, bro. The rankings mean that too. Listen, honestly, I'm more happy that my boy El Guapo finally entered the rankings, and he's in a spot where he deserves to be,
Did you feel bad for Frankie after getting slept like that? I know you felt good for your boy. You say, "Fuck,
man,
I feel bad." It's Frankie though, man.
Man, to tell you the truth, like when it happened, it was so fucking crazy because it was such a surreal moment. Shit felt like a fucking movie, because I was there live, and then it was when Frankie came up to us after and just was shaking our hands, the coach's hands and stuff. It's just looking at his eyes. It was all glossy and just I could tell he wasn't there. And I was like, man, fuck. I was like, a legend killer for real. Man, my boy just drilled his knee through Frankie's skull.
Dude, that knockout was fucking sick. Do you want to know something crazy, dude? That was the first time his kids were at the fights, bro.
I saw that.
I said, that's the fight you bring them to? Stay away. You're fighting Chris Gutierrez, bro.
I know.
Shit. When that knee landed and he went straight back, I said, please, just call it. That's it.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
That was brutal, man. Oh,
bro, motherfucker stiffened up before he hit the ground. That's the crazy thing. Like, his body stiffened up. He bounced off the ground, and then people went berserk. The whole arena went berserk. Never felt the ground shake. I was like, bro, that was fucking legendary.
That was legendary, bro. That knockout was sick. I like your boy Chris Gutierrez, man. He's fucking nasty. And
bro, I'm telling you, bro,
that guy's a problem. And
I've been preaching it to people. Man, honestly, I think that the Chris Gutierrez could be a fucking world champ at 135, bro.
That's it.
He's
got the frame.
Yeah, he's got the frame. He's got the ability. He's got the skill set. He got all the attributes. His jiu-jitsu off his back is crazy sick too. His get-ups are good. Obviously, he's not a wrestler. He's the kind of guy that's going to, strike you up and jiu-jitsu you. But his jiu-jitsu off his back is fucking sick, too, bro. And he's been one of the few dudes that's been battle-tested before he got to the UFC. You know what I mean? Super battle. He was in World Series of Fighting before he got to the UFC.
Dude, he's been around, man. And, I mean, the only and not even a loss, he got a draw against Durden in that fight. And, I mean, he came on strong. Durden just came out like a savage early. And that's the one fight. And I'll be honest, he looks a different level from that fight now. Dude, I compare his style. Like, he has an interesting flow. I can see a little bit of like a Marlon Vera, but he's more crisp, I feel like, with his stand-up a little bit with the hands. Like, I feel like he can even box a bit too. I'm very interested to see how Gutierrez does moving into the top because, I mean, you look at the strikers of the division. I heard O'Malley and Rogan talking about Gutierrez, and I was thinking, damn, that's a fun matchup, dude. And Gutierrez is a couple more wins. He was right in the top 6 already, man. He's close.
Yeah, he was close to having a fight with Sean O'Malley. I remember maybe a couple months back that there was words about like him fighting Sean O'Malley, and Sean O'Malley was the one that said no.
Interesting.
Because I remember Chris was like, they were trying to get the Sean O'Malley fight, and then it was like a no from the other side. So, you know what I mean? I know Chris would love that fight, but I'm excited to see who they match him up with next. I feel like he has some of the best footwork at 135 and some of the best kicking and kneeing. Outside of obviously Jonathan Martinez, that motherfucker got the kicks too, but his flow on his feet is just a different level.
How do you feel about a fight between maybe him and Yanez down the line?
Oh, man, that would be sick. What do you mean? I would love to see, I would love to see that kicking versus boxing and you know what I mean? And the crazy thing is it's not just the kicking, it's the footwork, the movement, the flow. He pulls you in, pushes you back, and it's like, you know what I mean? You think you're there, and then all of a sudden you eat it. And then it's one of the hardest low kicks I've ever felt in my life. Chris Gutierrez got one of the hardest, like, pound for pound, bro, weight class differences. That guy. And it's crazy because it's not the power that he has; it's the finesse and smoothness that he has in his kicks. The man's been training since he was like a kid, So, and he's in his 30s now, so he's been one of those guys that forged himself from the fire.
Oh no, I'm excited for him, dude. I think he's primed. I like the style. He might be one of the more entertaining, maybe the most entertaining striker in the weight. And I think him and Yanez is crazy because Yanez has the hype right now as the prospect. But I'm like, I think Chris Gutierrez is that guy. We'll see.
That would be sick.
Dude, Yanez has been a really big favorite. So if the fight actually gets booked, I know we're really pulling at fucking straws here. But if they do, I think that the money line bet on Gutierrez is going to be plus something, at least plus 120, plus 150.
Yeah, I was about to say, it cannot be too outrageous because, they still know. And at the end of the day, Yanez, half his UFC career was against flyweights and like Randy Costa and who was his last one?
What was it? It was Randy Costa. It was the British cat. What's the name?
Oh yeah, Tony Kelly.
Davey Grant was good. Let me pull up.
Davey Grant fight. Yep. And Tony Kelly.
Did he just beat Tony Kelly in the last?
Yeah, Tony Kelly was the last one.
And that's not a marquee win. Yeah, that was against Tony Kelly. I think him versus Gutierrez is a great fight. But, dude, that's a stern fucking test for Yanez, man. And I don't know if it's smart for their fucking management to be like, yo, we'll take this fight right here because that's kind of a risky one, man. I don't know.
Yeah, they're both sides of the same management team, so we probably won't see them fighting,
for a bit.
Unless it's for a belt, they're going to be what's called. But I feel like maybe my boy Chris versus the Song Yadong kid. That's a good matchup for Chris, too. You know what I mean? You if you're a power puncher coming at Chris, you're going to have problems.
Yeah, I like that fight for him, actually. The way that it's bulldozed forward for Song versus that technical outside work, but also finishing capabilities. Yeah, I like that fight, bro.
Yeah.
Let's keep moving up, man. We'll be fucking ranting about Gutierrez's
Let's
striking
go,
for the
baby.
next
That's my
30
boy
minutes.
Chris.
Yeah.
Shout out.
All right. Next fight right here is OG Michael Johnson versus Mark D1 wrestler
Bro.
Diakese, who's not
That-
dude, he's taking everybody down. What the fuck's going on?
Yeah, for real, right? He's like, man, fuck losing all these decisions. I'm gonna start wrestling people.
Dude, he's done it well, but against who though, right?
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not marquee fucking talent. But I do think Michael Johnson, bro, I just it's always disappointing for me to see how Michael Johnson performs because the skill sets you see in certain fights,
It's there.
he shines, dude. He looks like a killer.
Yeah.
You see him sparring with Usman, and bro, he can keep up with the striking for sure with any of the top guys. Problem is, I don't know what happens when the lights hit him. I don't know if he trains too damn hard and then he comes into the fight already beaten down. He seems to just have like stumps and then shit. This doesn't come together, man. What do you think though with this one? Do you think he can beat Diakese, or are you riding with the wrestler Mark Diakese?
Yeah, right. The D1 wrestler. So I was like, I took the. I feel like this is a similar fight to the Clay Guida fight. Like I feel like Mark Diakese is just too young, too fast, too talented. You know what I mean? I got a chance to meet Mark. It was this year when he fought the Slava kid, Slava, whatever his name is. Yeah, he ended up wrestling him. Yes, Borishev. Yeah, he ended up wrestle fucking him for 15 minutes. And I feel like this is going to be one of those scenarios where Michael Johnson's striking is not going to be like too crazy compared to Mark Diakese because Mark Diakese is a striker originally, you know. And I feel like the wrestling from Michael Johnson is not going to come out because the wrestling from Mark is going to be able to match it. So I feel like it's just going to be a showcase fight for Mark. He's going to be able to take it wherever he wants. I don't know if he's going to wrestle in this one because I feel like it's just going to be a striking battle. But it's always going to be there in his back pocket to put Michael Johnson on his back. And it goes back to Michael Johnson's been withered through the storm, you know, been chinned a little bit here and there. So it's like, man, I don't know. I don't know if he can keep up with these young guys, this fresh dude and Mark Diakese.
No, I agree, dude. I think at this point, Michael Johnson, he just couldn't be a guy that a back. I know I've seen people tell me they're going Michael Johnson. They like him as a dog, but I'm like, dude, you got to look. He's inconsistent often, bro. Like betting wise, he's a dog that he's gotten me excited as an underdog before, but just for whatever reason, man, these things go sideways. Even he's fighting Thiago Moises. The first round, he's crushing him, moving, slipping. Looks incredible.
Got that fight, yeah.
Grabs a leg, it's over. Done. Second round. Start.
Crazy.
So these intangibles, man, it just shit happens. I couldn't go with him. I'm going Diakese, bro. I'm there with you.
You got to go with the young guys against Michael Johnson now, unfortunately, even though, you know, he's an OG and I love him, but it's just like the sport passed him up, and I feel like it's one of those things where he's just clawing not to leave, and it's like maybe it's just time to call it a day, Michael.
Listen, my biggest thing is how I'm thinking. That money is good when you're a vet in the UFC, though, right? And if he still feels capable of fighting with these guys, like, I don't know. Like, people, I always hear people, oh, he should fucking retire. I'm like, bro, it's not so fucking easy to just retire. It's not like you're a fucking mailman. We got you with a pension for fighting 30 fights in the UFC. No, buddy, you out, there's no money coming in. So, like, now it's like, fuck, did I invest? Did I do this? Like, dude, that's the one thing with fighting that I think, like, especially MMA tends to get, like, you know, affected by it a lot. It's like when that time runs out, it's like, what's next? There's no backing financially from the UFC. Like, obviously, like, they probably will help you if you're in some, like, real shit spots and stuff, but there's not any type of, like, guarantees, you know? No, you're good, man. Just got a little tour of the house. Look nice in there. It's a nice table, bro. It's a nice table. Nice look. I like the work. That's a nice setup, dude. I like that. Yeah.
Coach Mark's office, and we're very chilling, you know, in between practices. Yeah, but no, that's the truth. That's the truth. That's like, but that's one thing. I'll give a quick shout out to Iridium, you know, sports agency. That's, you know, the management team I'm side with. That's one thing that they do that I think is pretty cool. They have like monthly meetings where it's like they like everybody that's on the squad that's part of the management team. Like we get seminars by like guys that are talking business. We had one a couple months ago with James Krause, a few different guys that just came on and just talked to us about opening up businesses and investing and you know, rental properties and stuff like that. And it's like that's what fighters need to focus on. Like the fight game is the fight game, but if you're focused on your fight check, you're fucking crazy. You know what I mean? You need to be like, I know Chris and Jonathan right now, like the number one thing they're focused on with their, especially with their fight checks, is opening up rental properties, buying homes, you know, open up a business. I know Chris Gutierrez has, I think he's on his third vending machine now, you know, and that's like something people don't talk about. It's like at the end of the day, yeah, you're making those fat checks from the fights, but they don't last for long. You know what I mean? That shit drains quick. So if you're a fighter that's depending on your fight checks, you fucked up a little bit, you know, and that's the truth. And all we could do moving forward is making sure the young guys that are coming up don't do that. Because at the end of the day, it's like the checks could be fat for the vets, but you don't want to go in there and you know, take L after L after L, ruin your legacy, ruin your name, tarnish your name, and then give yourself more brain damage. Like at the end of the day, we're trading our health for our paycheck, and it shouldn't be to the point where it's like you're like, I gotta get this money from this paycheck. It's like, bro, you should be working on things outside of your life that are like paying for your life as you're going. Like I know at the end of the day, we're not all going to be coaches, and not everybody wants to be a coach after they're done fighting. But you have more than enough time in the day to be able to venture to different things and build. And I hope Michael Johnson was one of those guys that did that, because if he's not and he's depending on these fight checks, that's crazy.
Yeah, I agree with that, though. But yeah, I guess that's something that's very interesting that your management team does that. So shout out to them, because that right there is a valuable asset, man. And it's interesting you said the name James Krause. All I'm saying, man, is in the fight game, you better be hush hush about that name, because right now he's under some hot water, bro. Like,
real hot water.
Yeah, like it's intense. Honestly, I don't know exactly what's going on, but I know that his YouTube is gone. His channel.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, everything. His Discord's gone. Everything's gone. But I don't know James personally, but obviously because of Factory Action, he's trained here before, and he's a really good dude. And when I see him at the fights, he always tells me he watches my fights here and there. And then, obviously, like a legend like him makes me feel good when I hear that coming from him. But he's one of those dudes. When he did his little seminar thing, he was talking about rental properties and owning homes in different states, and states that we know have cheaper, prices for the houses and stuff like that. So that was always cool to like take that in as a fighter, because you're like, I can't just focus on getting that next paycheck. I got to focus on investing it and flipping it and making sure my money's working for me, so I'm not sitting here depending on a next check. And then don't even get me started with some of these fighters that got baby mama drama, where they got to pay child support, so it's like you're depending on that check. They're looking at that check, they're like, you got paid so and so this year. It's like they're not taking into account you paying your coaches, your management, your gym fees outside of everything else you're doing. And it's not just like 10% of your coach. You're doing strength conditioning with a team. You're doing this. You got to do extra sessions here, recovery with this, massages, cryotherapy. It gets expensive,
Yeah, no, that is true, man. It's a pricey game, bro, because you got to pay a whole army to really, help bring you to where you want to be. But yeah, with James, I mean, I find it's such a weird spot, because how they're like really tightening up the betting rules and stuff, like as if you're in the fucking sport in any way, like outside of, just breaking it down. I guess it's like, no, we don't want knowledgeable bettors. That's what I took it as. Personally, I think it's a little bit of a what is it? Impingence? What is the word? Impeachment? What is it? They like push something in. It's like it impinges your freedoms a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, this guy, he's somewhat involved now. He can't bet. We're gonna not allow fighters to bet. I don't know. To me, it doesn't make sense, because I do think like if you're good at something and have knowledge, like if a guy's fucking, I don't know, an ex-NBA basketball player and he wants to do basketball bets, like I don't know, they make it weird. And I guess the tricky thing is because I guess it's no one affiliated. So like, could somebody bet on the UFC that like maybe fought, 10 years ago? Probably. Yeah. If you're in the limelight right now, currently into it, you can't bet. But it's not basketball. It's such a different sport, man. It's a different game. It's a different whole environment.
It's just crazy, because it's like it wasn't like less than 2 years ago that Justin James put money on himself, and that was like a big thing. It's like I don't understand it. Of course, if you're like, okay, you got to lose, you put it on yourself to lose, and you go in there and take an L, you're a fucking different kind of bitch, which is number one. And then number two, you're obviously you're working the system, which then you should get in trouble. You should be fucking arrested, or there should be repercussions for that. But for you to bet on yourself, like, bro, I'm at the end of the day, I was making it a joke. But a few of the guys for my last fight were reaching out to me, like betting websites and, betting pages on Instagram. They'll be reaching out and be like, yo, what's up, bro? Are you a lock? Are you a lock? I'm like, listen, bro, I'm getting 3 checks myself. I'm putting money on my, I put a stack on myself, because I'm not going home with that weak-ass check LFA's paying me. I need a little bit more money on the top. So I'm like, I need that 3rd check every time, Like, all these guys are chasing that, the 2 checks. I need the 2 checks. I'm trying to make 3. So it's like every time I get a chance to bet on myself, I let my brothers know. I'm like, yo, we're going in. You know what I mean? And obviously, there's L's, wins and losses. But at the end of the day, I'm betting myself to win every time, because I know every single time in my mind I'm gonna win. So for them to be like to restrict you from betting on yourself, it's crazy. Especially your coaches too. It's like they're sitting in the corner with full belief that you're gonna win. Why would they? Unless they're sitting there going, okay, I know this guy's injured, but I don't think it was like that. I think the circumstances of that fight with Derek Mandel were just shitty, because at the end of the day, shout out Derek Mandel, but you're a fucking
Derek Minner, bro.
Derek Minner, whatever, you know what I mean? Derek Minner, it's like, bro, like that guy, I seen that guy lose on a local scene to like absolute bums, and then beat guys that he shouldn't have beat. But it's like, for you to go in there and, you kick the dude in the hip, and then all of a sudden you got an injury. It's like, bro, what the? It was just so disappointing. I feel like it was a serious, shitty circumstance for Derek Klaus to even be in his corner.
So you think it was kind of he was putting him in a shit spot. So you don't think he necessarily knew about that? Like that's
No.
what people are saying, that he
No.
made the call and said, "Listen, everybody, run the lineup." And I don't know, like there hasn't been any like proof. It's more just people like conspiracy theories on
Exactly.
who was in it. So I really don't know. Like I just
Yeah.
know he's worried right now. I guess enough so to delete his channel that he was having fucking crazy success on. I was watching his YouTube and I was like, dude, his numbers.
I know,
are
same.
blowing
I
my
love his
mind, dude. That was crazy.
Yeah, I loved his YouTube. I would always watch his every weekly, you know what I mean, just to make sure you know to see what his picks are, especially because I was trying to get in that Discord, you know what I mean. And I know a few people from here that were talking to him personally, and I was like, bro, give me his number. I want to just get his picks straight up. But I don't think he knew about that fight. I don't think he was like one of those where it's like Derek Minner. I know some people were like, oh, he did the David Oyama thing and he owed money, but it's like, bro, at the end of the day, Krause is gonna bet on his guys. He trains with them. He's gonna bet on them. He's gonna bet on Brandon Moreno. He's gonna bet on David Oyama. He's gonna bet on his guys because he knows in the back of his mind, he's like, my guys are gonna win. I train them hard, and I know that this matchup. And then obviously MMA is a plausible sport where it's like you don't know who's gonna win or lose. At the end of the day, when the cage door closes, that's when we get the answer. And for the Derek Minner situation to play out how it played out was just kind of shitty, you know? It's like, man, I don't know. Just Derek Minner really disappointed me in that just because I'm like, you really go in there, you lose by injury, now you make your guy look like garbage. Like, honestly, if I was Derek Minner, I'd be out in public every day trying to speak to everybody that I could talk to and be like, explain to them, like, hey, the truth is, I'm soft. I broke. My fucking leg got fucked up. Like, it's on me. Like, you think Krause is out here applying? But I don't hear one word from that guy. I'm like, what are you doing, bro? Go speak up. Talk to somebody. Get on the air of Hawani. Hit him up and be like, yo, I need to talk about this. And he would love to have Derek Minner, I'm sure, and just put it public that it wasn't James Krause's fault that anything happened, you know?
I think the guy that's got to get him is going to have to be me, man. I don't think Helwani's giving him the shake. I'll give him the shine. He can come right here and tell me about it, man.
Derek Minner, let's go.
Yeah, Derek Minner, man. Come on through, man. We'll clip it up and we'll send it to him. Say, listen, bro,
let's go. For real, I'm down. Let's go. That's a smart bet, bro. Just for him to be public about it and just explain what happened and how everything played out, you know?
Yeah, no, I would like to do that, man. I'd like to. I might reach out and see if he hits me back, bro. We'll see. I don't follow him and he don't follow me, but I'll follow him after this, man. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. Let's what are we talking? We're talking Michael Johnson, man. Listen, Diakese's a big favorite though. It's minus 300. He's probably gonna get the hand raised. Listen, it is what it is. Let's keep running up, man. You said you want main event time now. Main event. What do you think though? Wonder Boy, karate, kung fu with Kevin Holland. What do you think, bro? I know what I think. I'm not gonna tell you yet. Actually, you go. I don't know if you know my pick yet, but
no.
Good. I'll let you be surprised.
Okay, I mean, I don't know. It's like this is one of those fights where it's like I'm super excited to see how it plays out. I've been hearing Kevin Holland keep talking about how he sees a third round finish, which is kind of weird to specific third round finish. I'm like, what are you gonna grapple him a little bit to get him tired or whatever? And obviously we know what Wonder Boy's you know what I mean, game plan is going into this fight. He's either gonna win by decision or try to knock Kevin Holland out. But I feel like it's the youth on this side, you know. It's the youth. It's Kevin Holland's time. It's one of those things where I'm like trying to imagine how it's gonna play out, but I feel like no matter how it plays out, Kevin Holland's gonna get his hand raised, you know. And I don't think it goes 5 rounds. I don't think it's gonna gonna that long. I feel like it's gonna be one of those fights where it ends in the 2nd or 3rd round, and either Kevin Holland subbing Wonder Boy or Kevin Holland TKOing Wonder Boy. You know what I mean? I don't think it goes to all 5 rounds, and I just feel like the young guy's going to end up getting it. It's his time. Stephen, I know Wonder Boy's talking about, like, I still got it. And obviously, I still think he does got it, but not with these top dudes, not with the top 15, top 10 of these divisions, you know? Maybe he's starting on these guys that are coming up that don't really belong in the UFC, but a guy like Kevin Holland, I don't think he gets through him.
I think Kevin Holland is too long, too explosive. And I think his boxing is good, man. And you know what? Especially he's got a really good straight down the line. And it comes from so far away with the reach that he has. Like, he's got a wild reach, bro, 81 inches, but he's not a wide framed guy. So something that's not really always taken into consideration is like from shoulder to shoulder, there's distance and then it's arms. He's fucking narrow up, dude.
Yes.
His arms are crazy long.
They don't take that into account, bro. Yeah. That matters because I feel like when it's like the guy's got broad shoulders, it takes away from the reach of the arms, actually. Yeah, it does. And you'll be like, oh, I'm 73 inches. Yeah, but from your shoulder to shoulder, you're like fucking 35 inches. You know what I mean?
Right. But I would like to see them do single arm measurements. Actually,
yes.
Like, that's boxing style.
Yeah, exactly. That's how they do it in boxing?
They used to, HBO, they used to put it up. Now I haven't seen it lately, but yeah, they would go from under the armpit to the end of the fist, actually.
That's smart. That's smart.
Pretty realistic. And then you
Yeah.
really know where everybody's at, because like, you know, I might have a 73 and you have a 72. I got an inch reach advantage. That's not really much, you know, considering how they measure it. But shoot, if I got 1 inch on you straight out from armpit to end of fist, that's pretty good. If I got
That's
2,
significant.
that's crazy. That's a big deal.
Yeah,
We don't know those stats, unfortunately, man.
Yeah, his frame definitely helps him in terms of his making his arms longer in a fight.
They work well, dude. That style. He's fast. He closes the gap. He can do some jujitsu. He can't wrestle, but he can do some jujitsu.
Yeah, he's still got
jujitsu in the game.
Yeah,
Dude, it's an exciting fight for me, man. I'm going Kevin Holland. I'm there with you. I actually called Kevin Holland my lock of the week, bro. I think that he gets it done. I'm confident that he pulls this out, man. He's around -175. Wonder Boy +150.
That's not bad, 175. And then so you got him by finish?
I got him by finish. I'm thinking he gets the knockout. I think he's going to close the distance and he can hurt Wonder Boy. My question is this: Wonder Boy's hurt. He can't do anything else besides strike. There's no wrestling.
Literally, dude.
He tries to clinch. If he shoots, I'll be mind blown. But Kevin Holland could choke him out. I think they're like, if Wonder Boy makes any type of little grappling mistake, Kevin Holland has that length where he can lock up some type of neck, man. I think fucking high elbow guillotine or some crazy shit. Wonder Boy's not wrestling. He'll die striking, and I think he is gonna fall, man. I'm going knockout.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's gonna be such an exciting fight. I think Kevin finishes him for sure.
I'm with you, dude. Now, I do got Mike Finch's picks here, so I am going to read those out for the people, and I'm interested to see what you think of the Finch man's picks.
Let's see. How's my boy been doing on his picks?
He's been doing well, man. He's been doing well. As far as how he's going to hit on this week, we're going to have to find out, bro. But listen, I got his picks for each one of the matchups. Holy shit. So this right here is the Mike Finch section, and I'm glad we got your live reaction too, which is good. All right, so to start the night off, he has Yasmin Jauregui to win over Estela Nunes, but he said it's interesting to see -350 line. He doesn't love the bet here. He would say no bet in this one right here. And he said that it's going to be, I guess, a big question mark around if Estela Nunes has improved their grappling since the last fight. I think it's more of a gas tank issue, though, with Estela Nunes. She gets tired in that third. In this fight here with Jauregui, I'm riding the side of Estela Nunes for a split decision upset. I'm gonna ride with her, but it's not high confidence at all. And it might. I've been getting that reaction all week, bro. Everybody's been like, "Oh, you're crazy." I also listen. I've had a few moments where I kind of go crazy, but listen, if she does win, I'll look like a fucking genius. If she doesn't, I'm a fucking jackass for that one.
Psychic.
But as far as the odds too, let me read them out because they're wide as hell. Estela Nunes +270, Jauregui -330.
Yeah, that's
Mike Finch. He's on Jauregui and not confident though. Not enough to bet. He said no bet specifically on that one. Let's keep running up. Next matchup: Natan Levy and Genaro Valdez. Mike Finch riding the side of Natan Levy to win via decision. I'm going to go against him, man. I'm going Genaro Valdez to knock him out. Dude, I've never been crazy with Natan Levy. So here's my thought process. He has a karate-based style, right?
Yeah.
And I think that when you look at a guy that's a little more like controlled chaos in Valdez, a guy that's technical from distance can deal not as well with a wild brawler in close. I could see Valdez closing the gap with the boxing, ripping them with shots and kind of just bringing that relentless pressure. And I don't think Natan Levy has a ton of sting on his shots. I think he really shines in fights where guys are going to take their time with him. They're going to mix it up. I think he can get some takedowns, work with the grappling a bit too. And I really feel like Valdez is going to be a hard guy to do that with. And also the Mike Breeden fight, man, that's very concerning to me how Natan Levy looked in that one, bro. It's a real close toss-up, and I do feel like Genaro Valdez can do this thing, man. I'm riding Genaro, Mike Finch on Natan Levy. It seems like you're like, nah, I'm going you.
Yeah, I'm Natan Levy. I feel like his fight IQ is too high compared to that other kid.
I respect the fight IQ. Listen, I think right here with this one, we see like pressure brawling with Valdez, and I think he can catch Natan Levy in the in-betweens, man. That's
you
what
might be right, because
that
kid does got heat, no?
The way he fights is like, so I always have felt like, especially at the lower levels, when you get to the higher level, things change, but especially at the back end of the UFC, you have somebody that's a little reckless with high pressure. he might make that guy who's got better technical skills look bad with the way he comes at him, especially without having a serious X factor of takedowns. Like Natan Levy, I know he can wrestle a little bit, but I'm not thinking of him as a guy that's blast double legging people, and then that's going to be in the back pocket the whole time. I could see him trying to wrestle Valdez, but them getting into scrambles. I can see them stalling each other out with the grappling and kind of just working against the cage a bit. And I think Valdez is going to constantly be throwing, man.
That's gonna be the answer. If Natan Levy could hold him down, I feel like if he could hold him down, it's probably gonna be his night.
Agreed. I think a lot of it really depends on how the wrestling is going to look. But Natan's the favorite, 2-1. It's -200, and then Gennaro Valdez sitting at +170. I'm on the opposite side of Mike Finch on the Valdez side, but Finch, man, riding with the side of Natan Levy to win here, decision. But he don't have like anything crazy. He's not telling you bet the house on it or anything like that. Yeah. He gives me little notes over here on this one.
Just your pick.
Next fight, Marcelo Rojo and Francis Marshall. I'm riding with Francis Marshall. Mike Finch going with Francis Marshall. And
Let's go.
Win by sub. Yeah, I think that's
I'm with it. Francis Marshall. Yeah, I think it's a good fight for him. He's an underdog in this too, no?
Francis Marshall is actually -150 as the favorite.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah. I think it's because he's got a little hype from Contender, Rojo on the 2-fight losing streak.
Yeah.
All the odds are that way, I think.
Yeah, I think Francis Marshall by probably by finish.
I like it, man. Yeah, sub. I think it's very possible here in this fight. Good matchup. Next one, Tracy Cortez and Amanda Ribas.
Man, I've been going so back and forth on this fight because I love this fight.
Dude, this is a great one, man. Yeah, listen, I'm going Ribas to get the win. I think she can pull this one out. Tracy Cortez is dangerous, but competition, it goes Ribas. She's fought the better girls. Split decision against Chukagan in the last one. We got a lot to learn, I still feel like, with Tracy Cortez. Like, we know she's good and there's a lot of potential, but I'm not ready to say she beats Amanda Ribas.
Yeah, exactly.
Mike Finch is, though. He's riding with Tracy Cortez. Yeah.
Damn, Mike.
Yeah. He said that she's 3 takedowns away from taking this fight, and I think she's getting them. If she fights like she fought Melissa Gatto, I don't see a different outcome. Interesting. So he thinks it's going to be similar to the Gatto fight.
Wow. But Ribas has way more dangerous jiu-jitsu off her back.
That's how I feel. I think that the submission attempts there, and I mean, you look at the Gatto fight, Gatto had her back a little bit. I could see her choking out Tracy Cortez. And you know what the line is for? Is +600 for the fucking sub prop on Ribas.
+600? That's for a fighter like Ribas? What's the knockout? It better be like a +1 million.
Let's see. It's got to be plus like 2,000 or something. Let's see. Yeah. Ribas by KO, it is +1,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck. But I like sub.
Yeah, of course, sub. But that's crazy. That's +600 for sub. That's huge. That's a big line.
That surprised me.
I feel like by the third round, if Tracy starts gassing or tiring out a little bit and starts shooting sloppy shots, because she's three shots away from winning. If she shoots every round, by the third round, it's not going to be as clean as the first, and her neck might be exposed. Or I think it's going to go over 2.5, and it's going to be Ribas by decision.
I like it, man. Yeah, I'm on the same side as you with Ribas there. Next fight is Darren Elkins and Jonathan Pearce. Me and Askar broke this one down, and Mike Finch is on the side of Jonathan Pearce. He's riding with him. Same side that I'm on, but I know you're not happy seeing that. The money, though, would be on the value of Elkins. I mean,
exactly.
-450, fucking -500 for Pearce.
Damn, that's crazy. That's crazy that it's that big. You should never have it that big against like Elkins.
This is the question. Were you throwing down on Elkins?
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, I got Elkins. Listen, the ones we were talking about are my picks of the week. For me personally, like the ones that I'm gonna throw down on. But one thing I like to do is first watch the weigh-ins. I got to see the weigh-ins, see these guys face off against each other, and you know what I mean, and that stuff. But the one bet that I did put in already was Yasmin, Mark Diakese, and Kevin Holland. Was the one where I was like, listen, those are the 3 fights where I'm like, I don't even have to, to see anything. I feel like those are the, nice little parlay pays through that money early on in the week. But I need to see the weigh-ins for the rest of them.
Makes sense, though. Yeah, I like to see the scales, bro, because a lot can be read from how they look as they face off.
Exactly.
Rain. Yeah. And I also like, just to see like how they go face to face and see if there's like some type of intimidation or whatnot. I gotta get this thing.
Exactly.
We're focused in right here.
Good.
Keep running, bro. The next one, Michael Johnson, Mark Diakese. I am on Mark Diakese. You're on Mark Diakese. Mike Finch also on Mark Diakese. But he's bringing something different to the table. He's saying head kick KO.
What?
Mark Diakese. Yeah.
He's a what?
He said
head kick. He is calling these shots.
The Mystic Mike, bro. He's the Mystic Mike.
Listen, if he wins by head kick knockout, fuck.
That'd be
That'd
crazy.
be sick. Yeah.
That's a
I mean,
sick
that's a possibility. He does got that sick kickboxing.
Dude, he has it, but it's just for whatever reason in certain fights it doesn't work well. And then now he's fallen in love with wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
If the takedowns are there, I just think why not just out grapple Michael Johnson for 3 rounds?
Exactly.
Why risk fucking getting punched in the face by him when he does have sting? I mean, he knocked out Poirier, man. Like, he can fucking box,
heat.
man.
He got heat. He got heat. Yeah.
He got heat. Let's keep running up. Next one, Clay Guida, Scott Holtzman, Mike Finch on the Scott Holtzman side,
Let's go,
as
baby.
we all are here, which I think makes a lot of sense.
Bobby hurts him a little bit knowing that obviously Clay Guida was from the Midwest, and that's,
that's his boy, you know what I'm saying?
That's
But
it,
listen, he's got to pick it as he's picking. Like I was saying to you that last time we talked, I said, man, it's nothing personal, bro. I'm just breaking down fist fights, bro. That's
why
it.
some of these fighters take it hard, but it's at the end of the day, it's not personal.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Like I think so. I guess I do get it because as we said, bro, it's not fucking basketball. It's a fist fight. But I always view it as just like just because you pick against somebody doesn't mean I'm saying I want to see you lose.
Exactly.
I'm not thinking like I don't want you to succeed in your fucking passion. It's more like, hey, I'm doing an analytical fucking breakdown. It's like it's going that way.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Next one, Angela Hill, Emily Ducote. Mike Finch is on Angela Hill. I'm on Angela Hill.
Shout out Angela Hill, and I love Angela Hill, and you know what I mean. I met her a couple times. She's cool, but man, I think that Emily girl is too good of a prospect. She's a good prospect. That girl's good. I feel like Angela Hill it's like a lot of her fights are split decision losses. You know what I mean? And Emily's one of those girls that's gonna come at her hard and heavy. And I don't know, Angela Hill lets some of these fights slip away from her, and I feel like this is gonna be another one of those fights where she either loses by decision or it's gonna be one of those split decision robberies. At the end of the day, though, I stay away from the girl fights. Especially when I'm not confident in them like that.
Fair. Listen, bro, I don't think that's a bad strategy because it can get you into some real deep trouble with some of those close split decisions with Angela Hill. But I do think Angie can win this one on a close decision, but it's not an easy fight at all. Not an easy fight. Very slight plus money. It's about even money, but ever so slight towards the side of Angela. So
what is it?
It's sitting at plus, let's see here, plus 105 for Angela Hill.
Damn, really? It's almost a pick 'em. Okay.
Pretty much pick 'em. Yeah, real close. Next one, Nico Price, Phil Rowe. Mike Finch going the side of Phil Rowe to win. I'm going the side of Nico Price, man. I'm going with him. I see a lot of people are going Phil Rowe, but I think it's because they're thinking that Nico Price doesn't have anything more in the tank or something like that. Whereas, are they really banking on Phil Rowe looking good? Like, what about Phil Rowe has me? Wow, this guy's gonna fucking beat Nico Price. I think that he might get knocked out in this fight, man. I think Nico Price is dangerous everywhere.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, dude, he's got a knockout win off the back, bro. The fucking hammer's fist against the name's escaping me now. I
Randy
know
Brown.
Randy Brown, bro, beautiful. Yeah, Randy Brown. He fucking stops him with a hammer fist from the bottom. So I don't think you can ever doubt Nico Price. Phil Rowe, he's got one thing that's like the physicality, man. He's a long, tall dude. But I still think Nico can beat him. Finch, though, he's on Phil Rowe to get the W.
Yeah, I think Phil Rowe throws like hands in terms of boxing, but what's his name? Nico Price throws bombs.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And that's going to be a game changer, especially because we know Phil Rowe's not going to wrestle. And even if he does wrestle, Nico got that jiu-jitsu off his back. I feel like Nico's one of those guys where it's like when you're anticipating to fight him as a 70-pounder, you're like, bro, I'm going to get fucked up, and I got to fuck myself up to fuck this dude up. So it's like, it's one of those mentality fights. And I don't think Phil Rowe comes out like good with fights like that. He needs to be one of those guys that's like he's super long and he just jabs and crosses you the whole time and either knocks you, TKOs you, or beats you by decision. But that's not the guy you do it with in terms of Nico Price. He's gonna come at you with kicks, spins, elbows, knees, and I got Nico Price with you.
Fucking damage, dude. I like Nico Price to win. The line's not crazy for it either. Nico Price right now sitting at minus 140. Not bad. And then we're down plus 110. It's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. I like Nico Price in that for sure.
Yeah, Nico Price for the win for both of us here. But Mike Finch on the Phil Rowe dog money side. Shout out to my guy. Let's keep running. This brings us to the main card. If you guys haven't yet, make sure you smash the hell out of the like button. And let's get into this fucking main card. Smash it, bro. Say like I'm the smash the fucking like. Smash the likes, my friend. Jack Hermansson versus Roman Dolidze.
That's a good fight.
That's a great fight. Mike Finch, he's got Hermansson to win by sub, and he's saying he's going to dust off the heel hook he hit Kelvin Gastelum with.
Wow.
That's ballsy to say against Dolidze. Holy shit.
I love the specifics.
Yeah.
Damn, the heel hook against, man, I don't know. Roman's a dog on the ground, too. He's not a pushover. Yeah, he's not a pushover. But I'm with Mike on this one. I think Hermansson by either sub or decision. You know, I think he's gonna just, it's one of those fights where he needs to get this win because it's a replacement fight. You know what I mean? And one of those. And I feel like Roman he just put himself in the mix because his last fight he came out unscathed. But I think Hermansson gets it done.
I'm going to ride Hermansson too, but man, I'll tell you, Roman Dolidze is dangerous and he's definitely evolving his game right now. He's got power. I was not impressed with the Roman Dolidze that fought Laureano Starpoli or the one that fought Trevin Giles or the one that fought John Allan early in the UFC run. But now you look at Roman Dolidze and he's like starching Phil Hawes. He's starching Kyle Daukaus, who's a good fighter.
Yeah. That one surprised me.
That one was fucking wild. I feel like it's just got to be Hermansson to win a decision, but not one of my favorite bets, man. Not one that I'd love the idea of because you got, a decent tag on Jack Hermansson. He's sitting at around -190, then Dolidze at +165. But Dolidze is not an easy out. You know what I'm saying? I'm just concerned about if you bet that one.
Damn, that's crazy for a late notice fight for a guy to take the fight on almost less than 2 weeks notice and for him to be that close. That's crazy.
Dude, I think it is because he just fought just 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So they're thinking he's still going to be in very good shape. And I mean, Dolidze's been looking freaky, bro. His physique is fucking come together like a fucking monster now. So dangerous dude. And I got to shout out the chat real quick. Patty Mills with the dono, $4.99. Thank you, my brother. Man, I like Askar. He's a huge fan, just like us.
Baby. Of course.
Yes, let's go. That is interesting, bro, because fighters that are like, hey, I never watched the UFC. I'm always thrown for a fucking sense. I'm like, wait. You don't watch the sport that you're trying to master?
Yeah, literally. Makes no sense. Like, it's like MMA in general. Just MMA in general. It's like as human beings, we learn by fucking seeing. So it's like just watching MMA fights and just getting to know all these dudes and understanding where their mindset's at and just what I mean, and understanding how fights happen and why a guy lost in a certain way, and and watching it from like the outsider perspective, where it's like. That's like a quote I heard before. It's like you could learn from your own mistakes, but you're smarter for learning from somebody else's mistake, and that's one thing I like to do, especially in MMA. So for guys not to watch and be like, oh, I don't watch this card, I got better things to do. What do you got better to do, bro? You're sitting around watching fucking the news or something. Like, I don't know. It's like I'd rather be able to just watch fights on the weekend. Like I said, PFL, Bellator, it doesn't matter what it is. I'm tuning in. If LFA some week, you know what I mean? If they got a good card running, outside of the Brazil cards, because every time they put those Brazil shows on, I'm like, what the fuck is this? But you know what I mean? Outside of that, I love to turn up with LFA and this and that. But I've been a fan since I was young, and I'm going to stay a fan until the day I die.
Listen, bro, that's how I got into it. Is like I fucking did martial arts, and then I remember my old sensei back in the day had a pro MMA fight. I went to it, and that was when I got a taste of like MMA. I was like, yo, I loved it. And I mean, as a young kid, I don't know, man. I never really was thinking about it as a career path. Like even when I was doing MMA and stuff, I always just loved it. So I was like, yo, let me start the YouTube thing so I can give my take on the sport I fucking love seeing, bro. Love talking about. And
that's
personally, bro, I've been blessed with it, man. Cause like I love being able to like make my work something I'm passionate about, and break down the fights and shit. It's sick, dude. It's sick.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's one thing. It's like when people always talk about like, oh, what do you think it's smart to be betting on the fights or this and that? And I'm like, I get it. It's obviously like if you're over here putting your life savings on the fights, it's a mistake. But I'm like, at the end of the day, I see guys that don't even do the sport make money off the sport. So I'm just like, bro, you know what I mean? The least I could do is fucking learn about the sport that I'm doing, you know what I mean? And examine. And it's like, I already have so much information. I might as well make it useful, Like absolutely. I know when these guys fight or who they fight or this and that, what the records are, if they padded or not, or who the last opponents are. So take advantage of it and use it as information.
The one thing that I always have found interesting is when a fighter really doesn't watch the sport, like they can't really give good breakdowns because they only know their own style. They can only understand their team. Like they don't really have the knowledge of the entire game. They only see it through their lens. No, I'm biased towards exactly this. And like they can't see it as a full thing. So that's good, man. I think
so much fighters like that, bro.
It's smart, bro. And it's also, as you said, bro, you watch, you learn, man. I believe 100% me watching a ton of fucking footage has improved upon my martial arts knowledge. Whether I'm fucking putting it into action, actually improving my skill set, it is what it is. I got the fucking blue belt up there, bro. So like, it's not like I have no experience. There's levels. Do you want to make it a career? This is fucking the guy right here making a career. And I'm glad that I get to be behind the fucking camera, hyping people up, building people. Baby. And that's like the one thing that I always feel like, if people were ever like offended if I picked against them, I was like, bro, Like, I want to see the people that chase their dreams succeed.
Exactly.
But I'm gonna fucking tell it honestly.
Yes.
'Cause that's my job. Same way I say it like this: you got to fight that dude, and across the cage, you're looking at a dude who has the same dream as you. But ultimately, there's respect there, and you're gonna try to beat him. And the goal is you beat him. With me, it's the picks. I'm beating the lines, bro. That's it.
Exactly, bro. It's like you can't take it personal as a fighter. It's like anytime I know somebody like bet against me or you know what I mean, bet with me, I always let them know. I'm like, at the end of the day, this is a fist fight. You know, I'm telling you because I'm confident in myself. I'm gonna let you know I'm a lock. But it's like at the end of the day, you got to be real. It's a fight, and it's like anytime I see anybody bet against me as a fighter, the first thing I tell myself, I can't wait to prove that motherfucker wrong, so I can hit him up after and be like, "Yo, bet on me next time." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like if you're looking at it and you're like, "Oh man, he's pitting against me," it's like you can't take offense to it. You just got to go prove him wrong too, because at the end of the day, we're gonna have doubters everywhere, anyways, and some of these doubters aren't even putting money on you. At least this guy has the balls to like go out of his way, put money on the your opponent because he thinks he's gonna lose. But it's your job to go teach him his lesson and be like, "Yo, you should have picked me."
Facts, bro. Facts. Good mentality, man. That's a winning mentality right there, bro.
You can't take everything so hard. You know what I mean? I feel like a lot of people think that it's like, oh man, they take you pick against them. It's like, oh man, this guy fucking hates me or something. But it's like, bro, at the end of the day, the dude's trying to feed himself with this money too.
Yeah, facts, bro. Facts. You said it, man. Next fight. Let's get into this one. It's Eric Anders and Kyle Daukaus. Mike Finch is on Kyle Daukaus. I'm on Kyle Daukaus.
Kyle Daukaus.
Dude, I feel like this is something about Eric Anders. I think he's good everywhere. It's just nothing has ever jumped out the page where I say, wow. And I don't think he's a super fast twitch guy. He's really strong and he has power, but he's not fast. And I think he really has a hard time finding big shots. The one win that actually was a no contest, but you remember when he was putting it on Darren Stewart in their first fight, ripping him with shots. He had him. That was the best I ever saw from Eric Anders.
Yeah.
But every other fight, I'm like, I feel like he's either hesitating to strike or by the time he throws it, he's not landing with that dynamite impact. And I feel like against a young dude like Daukaus, I gotta ride with Daukaus.
Yeah, I feel like Eric Anders is one of those dudes that wakes up from a nap and goes and just fights. Like, you know what I mean? Like literally, like just wakes. He's in the bag taking a nap, and they wake him up, and they're like, "Yo, you gotta fight in 15 minutes." And he goes, and he's just like, "Man, I'm just doing it because his paycheck's fat." But I don't know. It's like you said. I feel like Kyle Daukaus is too young, too explosive, too fast, too diverse, and is gonna end up. I feel like he's gonna end up TKO in Eric Anders.
Really? Okay, I like that.
Yeah,
man.
I don't think he subs him because Eric Anders got no neck. No, man's all trapped.
He's pretty jacked, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those. Maybe he puts him in the clinch and just knees him up, elbows him up. You know what I mean? Punches him from a distance and ends up putting him away.
I could see it, man. Listen, I like the fucking confidence too. As far as the odds for Moneyline is -225. Daukaus, Eric Anders sitting at +190.
What was Mike Finch's pick? Was it?
He went Daukaus decision, and I know you're going Daukaus KO. So Daukaus knockout is actually +800. So that's big plus.
What's Daukaus finish?
The Daukaus inside of the distance, you're sitting at +225.
That's beautiful right there.
You like that play right there? Mike Finch, and I was even going Daukaus by a decision, but it's +160. I don't love the decision prop. I don't know. Like, I don't think it's impossible for him to finish in Eric Anders at +225. Like, I can see what you're shooting at there for that one, bro.
Yeah.
Let me look at this fucking. Let me see. I like to pull up a couple messages here, man. I've been slacking on him a little bit. Didn't Roman break Kyle's face not too long ago? Listen, he did some fucking damage to him, man. He did, but he comes back smooth. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is with the.
That wasn't Kyle. Was that Kyle's last one?
Kyle, I believe that might have been his last one. Actually,
oh really? It was his last fight. I mean,
let me pull it up, bro. Let me pull up Tapology so I don't tell you anything that's off. Or no, did he just beat Jamie Pickett?
Yeah, I thought he fought Jamie Pickett recently.
Let's see. Kyle Daukaus. Nah, that was his last fight, bro, in June. Dolidze knocked him out.
That's crazy. Okay, then this is going to be a big fight for him to try to get back in the win column.
This is essential, man. Let's keep running, bro. The next fight is where the hype is at for me. Tuivasa versus Sergey Pavlovich. This is a crazy fight. Listen, man. Mike Finch is on Tuivasa by knockout.
Wow.
He said dog of the night, but he did say this. He said, I'm concerned a big Ty is out enjoying himself a little too much with the shoeies and drunken videos with Bilal and Leon, but I do think he catches Sergey with a rear hook in a great fight. He's riding with Tuivasa. Where you at on this one, man?
I feel like Sergey is just too diverse. He's one of those guys. Yeah, he's just one of those guys. He was a champ at M1, was it, or one of those promotions?
Was it A something? One of those foreign promotions.
Yeah, out in Russia, right? And
He was fucking beating everybody up. I mean, dude, he's 16-1. The dude's a fucking absolute monster. Fight Night Global. Fight
Night Global. Okay, it was so M1, no?
I don't believe that's M1, man.
It's not M1? Okay, well, Fight Night Global then. At that
AMC, bro. AMC Fight Night
AMC.
Global.
Okay. Yeah, and he was the heavyweight champ over there, and I just feel like a lot of his fights he showed a diversity and you know, a top game, bottom game. I think he puts Ty on his back. We see Ty on his back. You know what I mean? Just like the Junior Dos Santos fight, he gets put on his back, gets pummeled into the ground, and gasses out and ends up getting finished.
Do you know that Sergey Pavlovich of active fighters has the longest reach? It's 84 inches, man. And he's 6'3".
Wow.
Like, that's insane. So he's half an inch away from John Jones. John's not active anymore. So Pavlovich right now is longest reach in the UFC of active fighters.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Right?
Even more crazy than knowing that John Jones has the same reach as that motherfucker, and that's the longest guy.
Yeah, dude. He's a freak, dude. He's a freak.
Yeah,
and Tai Tuivasa, he doesn't have a terrible reach, but 75 inches. I mean, you see that sometimes at 170.
That's a big difference.
That's 9 inches.
75,
That reach is going to show because of this. Tai Tuivasa has some nasty chopping low kicks, but Pavlovich can throw the straight from the kicking range of Tuivasa, man.
Exactly.
He's going to find straight punches, bro, and he's going to box them up, man. I think this is a big mistake for Tai. He literally just lost 3 months ago in a fight where he took career-changing damage.
Exactly.
I mean, he went to war with Gon, and now you're throwing him right back in the fire to Pavlovich.
I guess a guy like Sergey.
Not a good idea.
Which is crazy. With the diversity of attacks Sergey has, I feel like it was a bad matchup for Tai.
Yeah, I agree. I like Tai a lot. I'm a big Tai Tuivasa fan. Bro.
Same.
The shoeys on the show. Come on,
it's always cool to see him knock somebody out and do a shoey, but it's like he's one of those guys where I feel like they should have like brought him up how they brought Derek Lewis up during his heyday. Like you don't have him lose like the Cyril Gane and then go up against a guy like this with diverse striking or Russian dudes. Like, bro, you give him another dude that's on the come up like him, you know. But it is what it is. My boy I seen an interview he was talking about he wanted to fight before Christmas, but it's like, bro, I get it. You want to get fat and get drunk during Christmas, but bro, you could have easily been on a Pearce card. They would have put you against a good matchup, and you would have had a knockout in front of your people and just kept elevating your stock. But you know, I guess beers and fucking food is better off for him. But you know, it irks me so hard when I see fighters do that. It's like, I want Christmas. It's like, bro, you're gonna get Christmas for fucking 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years, hopefully after your career's over. It's like, sacrifice it now, bro. Sacrifice a little bit now because you know you're gonna imprint your legacy in the concrete. Like, instead of being like, bro, I don't want to fight on a Perth card because it's February and that's gonna take away from the holidays. Like, bro, come on, bro. This is this is how you change your kids and your family's life, and now you're forcing yourself into a fight with a guy you shouldn't be fighting. But you know, at the end of the day, this guy can knock him out and make me eat my words. But I think Sergey's a bad matchup for him.
I agree. I'm going Sergey Pavlovich to get the win. Next fight, interesting, is at 125. Matthias Nicolau and Matt Schnell.
That's a good one.
Mike Finch is on Matthias Nicolau. I'm
Let's
also
go,
on Matthias Nicolau.
I'm with you, boys.
What do you think? You like his game? I feel like he's got some pretty smooth stand-up. He's got some power, a lot of lateral movement, and he can definitely rip shots, whereas Schnell, I like Schnell's style, bro. Take one, land one, pressure, bang, brawl, good fights. But I will tell you this, he's hittable. I think he does come in range a little bit exposed at times. And dude, I think circling out, I could see power shots from Nicolau even dropping him. But let's not even talk about stand-up, bro. The jiu-jitsu, in my opinion, is very favorable towards Nicolau, man. I think he's on the ground. He has the edge. I think he can probably choke Matt Schnell, man. I'm going to go submission.
Yeah, I think that's a smart bet. I think this is one of those fights where it's going to be a showcase fight for Nicolau. I feel like he's going to end up starting on Schnell. If he doesn't finish him, I think he grinds him out and decisions him. I feel like it's maybe one of those situations where Schnell's going to be too tough to get finished. You know, he's going to be like, oh, yeah, you guys think this guy's going to beat me? You know, I'm going to be in there the whole time in his face, and I think he's just going to get grinded out in the decision. I was actually looking at this fight earlier in the week, and I feel like the two bets I would like lock myself into is Nicolau and then over 2.5.
I like that, man. I think Nicolau to win, money line, and then it's obviously a wide line, so you like over 2.5, which I'll read out right here, sitting down at Nicolau over 2.5, minus 115. But Nicolau money line's minus 370, man. It's crazy wide.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Listen, let's keep running, man. I'm not trying to hold you all day, by the way.
No,
bro.
baby, listen.
You're all good? All right, good man.
Told me what I was doing. You know, I clear up my Thursday nights, baby.
My
you know,
man,
we spar super hard on Fridays here at Factory X, and you know, throughout the week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning are super hard sessions. So Thursday, I like to just come in. I'll hit a little bit of mitts with my guy. You know, move around, just get a little bit of sweat, get a kind of a game plan of what I want to do during sparring tomorrow, and then I just, as soon as you told me I was talking to you today, I was like, I'll get in Coach Mark's office, nice and cozy, chilling here, and, talk to you boys.
Good shit, man. Good shit. Co-main event, it's RDA, Rafael dos Anjos versus Brian Barberena. Mike Finch, RDA decision. The
Yes,
cardio
sir.
machine shows Barberena a full MMA game and what former champs are made of. I like that by Mike Finch.
What's
And
your
I
pick?
agree, man.
RDA?
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I think RDA is gonna get this. It's a good fight for RDA. This is like a fight they should have gave to, like, a style kind of fight they should have gave to Ty, like where it's like favorable. They're gonna get him back in the win column. And don't get me wrong, Barberena is tough, but Barberena is one of those dudes that needs to kill you with his cardio, and he's not gassing out RDA.
I don't see it. Yeah, I think RDA is going to get a hold of him and take him down.
Yes, sir.
And that's where he'll shine. I think he'll probably lock something up. I'm going towards the side of like a possibility of sub, but decision is pretty likely, man.
Yeah,
I do
that's what I
give it a
think.
chance, though. But the line is like really, really wide, minus 500. No, not it's upwards of minus 600. Depends where you're at.
For RDA?
Plus 425. Yeah, man. He's at Dagestan numbers, dude.
That's crazy. Minus 500 for him to win straight up?
Yep.
That's crazy. What's him by decision?
Him to win by a decision, minus 120.
Damn, that's crazy.
Still wide.
I would go with that. I feel like RDA ends up grinding him. Barberena is a tough dude. I feel like he's one of those guys that's, dies on his shield, doesn't really get finished by anybody. But it looks like you said, he's going to get wrestle fucked into the ground, and it's not going to be good for him.
We're going RDA with high confidence, and
Okay.
so is probably everybody, man. Very few. I've seen a few Barberena people, though, but not too many.
Where are they at? Are they wearing the same
some in the
outfit?
chat earlier last week, bro? I saw, yeah, or not earlier last week, earlier this week, yeah.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It's dumb, bro. Some people think that he can beat RDA. I'm like, listen, RDA is not fucking 50. He's not fucking 10 years past his prime. He might be a little older, but he's still there.
Yeah, he's still in it. Yeah.
Main event of the evening: Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Kevin Holland. Mike Finch, he goes Kevin Holland by KO, hands versus kicks. And even if Wonderboy does slow down, it doesn't happen early. Holland's hand speed is excellent. He likes the hand speed by Holland, as I feel like I like, as I know you're feeling too. I think Kevin Holland, he can control the fight where it goes too. Like, it's very rare to say that about Kevin Holland, but if there was a takedown, I would lean it towards Kevin Holland as opposed to Wonderboy.
Yeah, if there's a takedown, it's definitely coming from Kevin. Yeah, I like that breakdown. That's what it is. It's Kevin Holland. It's his time. It's, you know what I mean? Wonderboy had his time. It's past. I feel like it's one of those where it's going to be just a nice little bump up for Kevin, especially for everything that happened to him in the last fight with that bullshit with Chimaev and stuff. So, he gets what he deserves. He gets a nice showcase fight in the main event in Orlando, and he gets to, make a highlight reel for himself.
How do you, when you talk about the bullshit, you talking about the fake glove touch or just the whole situation?
Everything, bro. Chimaev's a fucking, bro, that guy is
not a fan of Chimaev, man?
He's so fucking annoying, that guy. Got him on Twitter talking about give me an 85 title. Nigga, you didn't beat nobody at 85. What you talking about? You've never beat nobody in the top 15. What, like, you're making this the fucking circus. Like, these little kids are watching them. These kids that are coming up, like, obviously everybody comes up in a different generation. It's like you come up during the GSP era or the Ant Silva era or like the Conor McGregor era or, you know what I mean? Even like fucking a little bit. I'm trying to think of somebody that's the Israel Adesanya area where these kids are like, that's the first champ they see. That's the first guy they kind of catch their attention to, because we all have that. And Chimaev has that, because I've talking to kids where they're like, man, Chimaev is such a beast. And it's like, I could tell that was the first real MMA fighter they talked to. And I'm like, or they were introduced to. And just the way he carries himself, it's like, bro, people are watching you. Kids are watching you. Like, you're missing weight, making it look like a scumbag, making it look like a shitty game. You're fake glove touching with fighters when you're in the cage. Like, you're just, you're putting on this persona. You're fucking, all you're doing is hollering and screaming. You're not fucking being coherent. Like, bro, for the love of God, like, props to him and respect for his skill set. But dude, it's like, you're gonna make the next generation think this is a dumb sport. Like, in terms of how you have to act. And it's so annoying because some of these kids think that's the way. Like, that's the blueprint. Like, oh, Chimaev does this, Chimaev does that. Listen, Chimaev isn't the end-all be-all. He's still a kid too, trying to learn this shit. You know what I mean? Just like everybody else. And everybody thinks that's another thing. Everybody thinks he's rich. Like, the UFC is not giving him $1 million checks. Like, he's probably fighting for 20 and 20. You know what I mean? Like, he's not rich.
I wonder. Now you're making me wonder. Now we got to pull this up, man. What's
that dictator money, bro? I mean, he's got that Chechnya and dictator money, but he's definitely not getting no money from the UFC.
Dude, let's see. What's he at? Chimaev has earned over $449,000 in his UFC career.
What is that? 6 fights?
What's that? 6? Yeah, it's about 6. So what is that, like 80-ish each? So let's just use 450. by 6. What's about 75 each?
75 each, but obviously
What
the
is he
first maybe
getting?
3 or 4 would probably-
Bonuses. Yeah, he's getting a lot though. And I think he's on his second contract now, probably. They must have re-upped.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, dude, he's got star power for sure. And I
Yeah,
like
for sure.
Hamzat Chimaev. He's fun. Like I find it fun, like the smack talk, but he's nuts, bro. He's crazy. He's a crazy guy,
Yeah.
bro.
Yeah,
He's
that's
from
what it is.
Chechnya,
He's
brother.
crazy. Don't get me wrong. He's
different.
crazy, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I like you know what I mean, to be able to talk and you know, be quick with your tongue, or you know what I mean, not just fucking scream at this and kill everybody and this and that. I can't wait to see him I can't wait for him to go up against somebody that's like obviously the Gilbert Burns fight was money and that was cool, but at the end of the day, this guy's being a weight bully too. You know what I mean? He's coming down from a crazy ass weight class. For you to miss by that much, and obviously he probably started replenishing, and then how disrespectful. Like, instead of being like, yo, UFC punish this guy, they're like, hey, yo, you get to fight Kevin Holland. Like, bro, that's not a punishment. You gave him a fucking slap on the wrist and paid him his money. Like, you should punish him, you know. And then it's like, oh, we're gonna give him one more chance at 170. Like, it's because of the juice. It's because of the juice he's got and all the eyes that are on him, which is it's all good. But at the end of the day, the game shows itself, and you know you're gonna get exposed, bro. You're gonna get exposed. I feel like as ever since like the Kevin Holland fight, he's been looking soft in a lot of like his Instagram pictures, his training on Instagram. I'm like, this guy's starting to take that weight cut a little lightly.
I think he's ready to move up. He was talking about fighting Alex Pereira, dude.
Yeah, it's like, bro, it's like, oh, I could wrestle him. And I know everybody jumps on it. Oh, Chimaev would have wrestled him. Okay, but he doesn't even deserve to fight Alex Pereira. And then people go, Alex Pereira got rushed to the title. Listen, he got rushed to the title, yes, but he still knocked people out on the way there. Like
he still knocked out Izzy.
Exactly. He starts people on the way there and then knocked out the champ. Like, what has Chimaev been doing? Missing weight and fighting and then like forcing himself to come down to one weight class against Gilbert Burns. And then I'm not lying, I got a little bit of a conspiracy theory myself. When he fought Li Jiling in Dubai, I think he missed weight, and the commission there cheated him, cheated the system.
Interesting.
Because man, he missed weight. He missed weight by one. I remember, and listen, I watched those fucking weigh-in shows like you know what I mean. Like it was my job. Like as soon as the weigh-ins happen, I'm up and I'm watching it live. And I remember he weighed in. He was like 173, and then he left for an hour, and he came back. He was 171, and it's like, bro, like I'm like they hit him with that towel too, and I'm like, man, it was one of those. And then it's like, you know, when you fight in Dubai, and I'm like, I'm not lying. It's like one of those things. You're a Muslim. You're popular. You're this and that. The commission knows you. They're gonna let you slide, you know. So honestly, I think he missed weight against Li Jiling.
Interesting.
You know what I mean?
That's a ballsy take, but I mean, I don't know. Like, it's a very weird situation because I know there's a lot of conspiracies, but then people would say, oh, well, why didn't they let Charles Oliveira slide? I guess you said it though, because I mean, it's a Muslim guy in.
Yeah, you got to remember, you know, human beings are super biased, especially when the person, you know what I mean? I fought in Oklahoma one fight ago against a Brazilian, you know what I mean? And I outscored him. I outscored him 80 punches to like 30 punches or whatever, you know, 0 takedowns from both sides. And I felt like I was outscoring him. But at the end of the day, the judges were some, you know, motherfucking, what's the KFC guy's name? Colonel Sanders?
Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, Colonel Sanders looking motherfuckers like that were the judges, like, you know what I mean? Straight hick. And then I feel like it was one of those where they saw me, they're like, oh, Palestinian, this and that. That I feel like it was a little bit more biased on the side, you know? It's like I've been telling the story. As soon as the fight was over, I remember the promoter Mike Brary for LFA came up to me, and he's like, and Ed Soares, they were like, you could go talk to the commissioner. You could go talk to the judges and ask them their opinion on this. And me and my brother went up to one of the judges, and this guy's sitting here with his white suit, and I'm like, excuse me, sir, I just want to talk to you about my fight and just get your opinion on what you think I was doing that made me lose those rounds. And he goes, listen, I picked the other guy. I'm not explaining. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? I felt like he like wanted to spit at me. I was like, bro, I'm like, why did you pick the other guy? Just explain to me. I'm like, did you pick him because of a certain reason, or did you pick him because you hated me? You know what I mean? And that's what it is at the end of the day. I feel like we're human beings, and we got opinions and we got perspective, and it's like sometimes you're gonna get dealt that card where it's like you're fighting in Arizona against a kid from Arizona like Justin Gaethje, and you're some Brazilian kid that they don't want you to win, and the commissioner's like, you know what? It's gonna have to be on a dot, or I'm not giving it to nobody. You know what I mean? But if you're a Muslim guy, you know, a Muslim fighter fighting in Dubai, you're gonna get a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you know, and that's the truth, and it's part of the game we play. It's like, so it's like, as a fighter, you should know, like, okay, I got to make sure I'm fighting in the right places so I'm not fucking get shysted by the environment, you know?
Yeah, bro. The environment, I guess, plays a bigger factor than we're
It
thinking,
plays.
right?
It
Where you're
plays, bro.
at, who you're against. That's crazy, man. That the guy wouldn't explain why he picked
Bro,
against you. Because if
it
you
made me
really
sick,
had say, listen, let me tell you why, son, and then he would fucking tell you exactly it like this.
bro.
I don't know why I picture judges as like real old. That's why I said son, like
Yeah,
he's like father. You know what I'm saying?
bro.
And he's like, listen, he did this, and this
Yeah.
round. That's why I have him win.
And that's all I
Sorry,
wanted to
man.
hear, bro. I've
Yeah.
never listened. I've I've talking. I'm 28 years old. I've talked to enough people in my life to know when people look at you, it's like that. I've never felt that guy like that guy felt like he wanted to spit at me when he saw me. When he saw me, as literally like it was one of those where I'm like, man, this guy looks like he hates me and he doesn't even know me. You know, I'm like, I wanted to kind of sit him down in a room and be like, bro, let's talk. I don't understand why you think, you know what I mean? And it could be one of those things where he's just racist. You know what I mean? He's just, you know, some guys are just like that. Some human beings are just stuck that way, and it's like they look at a different group of people and they just automatically, you know, they're like, bro, I hate like this certain group of people just because they're this way, and that's how they are for the rest of their life. And it just sucks because it's like you would think that if you were in sports, you would take race out of it because like the respect, integrity of sports should carry you. But you know, at the end of the day, I'm fighting in Oklahoma. You know, I'm a fucking, you know, Oklahoma, bumtown Oklahoma. I'm like, the judges don't give a fuck about nothing. You know, they're just happy that they have an event there. You know, all together.
Oklahoma, man. I've never been there. I don't even know anything about it, dude.
There's absolutely
Holy
nothing in
shit.
Oklahoma.
There's nothing there.
Absolutely
That's crazy.
nothing.
Yeah, I don't
There's
know, man.
the
Damn. So,
Whataburger that everybody's obsessed with, but it's absolute
oh,
trash.
it's trash. What do you
Bro,
like? What's your burger spot?
I'm an In-N-Out guy. I'm an
Okay.
In-N-Out guy. I'm a Portillo's guy. You know what I mean? From the Midwest.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever had Portillo's.
I have one in my area, but I never went.
Oh man, really? Damn, you got to give it a chance.
Gotta go.
Portillo's got that good, you know what I mean? That good stuff, especially their chocolate shake.
Oh
But,
shit. Okay.
You know, I'm with that. I'm with Portillo's In-N-Out. They got an In-N-Out here in Denver, and then I'm big on Chick-fil-A and Bird Call out here in Denver. I love the chicken sandwiches.
Chick-fil-A is fucking bomb diggity dog, bro.
All the time. One of my
crazy.
roommates, he works at Chick-fil-A. Bro, it's a fucking curse, bro. I'll be
That's sick.
messaging this dude every night.
That's
If I don't got nothing to play, I'm like, bro, 6 sandwiches, please and thank you.
Holy
If like 6,
shit.
I'm like 7, motherfucker. 7 and all the Chick-fil-A sauce you can get.
Let me ask you, are your roommates fighters too?
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, of course. Listen, we keep the mentality the same. I ain't got
Yeah,
no-
that's what I was thinking. I was thinking Chick-fil-A. I'm like, I'm trying to imagine like some random guy working at Chick-fil-A is his roommate.
Yeah, no. My boy's a fighter. He the funny thing is, before I met him in Chicago, he was working at Chick-fil-A, and I got him a job at a UFC gym, the same UFC gym Mike Finch was working at, because I was working there too. And then we moved out here to Colorado, and he was having a little bit of like trouble finding a job, and obviously at the end he was like, man, I could just go back to the Chick-fil-A I was working at before you know what I mean? We moved out here, and he ended up getting to connect with the Chick-fil-A out here, which is like super close to our house, and ended up getting a job quick, and he's getting paid decent, this and that. It's me, my brother Motaz, and then my roommate Alex Rago, and you know, all 3 of us are fighters.
Sick, bro. No, that's cool, man. I was curious who was out there, bro. That's savage, man. The Chick-fil-A comeback, bro. He comes in with a little Chick-fil-A for his opponent, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, listen,
fight.
my boy, the proudest moments of my boy's life is when he gets a dub and he gets to walk back into Chick-fil-A talking about his win.
That is sick. No, that is sick.
Walking around with the strap.
Oh, shit. That's great.
He's the Fury FC. I'm sure you've heard of Fury. He's the Fury FC flyweight amateur champion. He just won their belt. He just beat a good kid in his last fight. He's actually turning pro hopefully next year. Nice. You know what I mean? So once he turns pro, our apartment 20 will be all pro fighters, and then we're this year. My brother's got a fight next week. Actually, my brother Motaz is fighting next week out here in Denver. He's main eventing Colorado Combat Club out here, and this year we're gonna be 5 and as soon as Motaz gets his win, we'll be 6-1 this year, which is not a bad record for 3 dudes living in an apartment in Denver.
Yeah, that is sick, man. How do you like Denver, by the way? I was there like a year ago.
Bro, I love Denver. I was actually just talking about this with Mark Matoyo's daughter. My favorite thing about Denver is when you drive around, bro, the scenery. The scenery is so beautiful. Like, just looking out in the distance and seeing the mountains and seeing the snow and just, you know, it's just so freaking beautiful. It's like, it's a different environment from, I'm sure Mike can tell you this, from driving in Chicago, where it's like, it's just industrial park after industrial park and bullshit and buildings, and you just kind of get sick and tired of the environment. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so beautiful that it's so connected to nature here. They still have the integrity of nature in the city of Denver, which is super sick. We're like when you go to Chicago, the coolest thing to see is the bean. So if I want to see a big metal bean, you know what I mean? It's at least in Denver, it's like dog parks everywhere. It's super dog friendly city, and then the scenery of the mountains is so sick, and it's like an hour drive and you're surrounded by mountains. How sick is that, you know?
Dude, it's incredible. Yeah, no, I liked when I went there, bro. The scenery was out of this fucking world, bro. And you're at high altitude too, man, which is pretty sick.
Yeah, that's one of my other favorite things. Like as soon as I went back to went down to Iowa to fight for that fight last month. Man, I was like, man, I feel like I'm on jet fuel. You know what I mean? I'm flying. It's like fuck unlimited cardio when you go down to sea level.
That's sick, dude. Nah, that's a big fucking benefit, bro. I do want to read off Mike Finch's lock of the week and his parlay just before we fucking get out of here. Lock of the week, Mike Finch, Kevin Holland. I am on the same lock of the week as him.
That's a good one.
His parlay surprising me a bit. He's going Tracy Cortez and he's going Tai Tuivasa on the parlay.
Wow, that's
shooting for some money. That's
what's
bold.
the odds on that?
The odds, let me bring them up, bro. I gotta get them set. Let's see.
Damn, Tracy Cortez and Tai. This sick break.
This is the Mike Finch fucking bets right here, bro. This might be big
crazy.
Plus 445.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's pretty sick. For me, I'm liking parlays on the safer side, man. I don't think you go nuts with it. I think an RDA, a Nicolau, Diakese plus 100 is a safe way to do it. If you want to take the risk in it, I mean, I also have Holland Valdez as another play to potentially throw down on at plus 325. I'm not giving you the fucking Mike Finch level line, though. He's bringing some heat with plus 445 on that for two fighters, man. That's sick.
That's hot for but man, Ty's such a fucking coin flip.
So Ty's a dog, but that's a fucking fight. That's a fight. Askar, I got to tell you, man, I appreciate you coming through and chatting up. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if you were ready to talk the full card. I'll be honest.
Hell yeah.
Listen, now I know. Now I know. So now, listen, bro, Askar, you just brought yourself in as you're the reserve guy. We
you let me know whenever, bro.
You're in, my guy.
I told you my Thursday nights work perfect for this. So anytime you want to hit me up, you let me know.
Yes. No, dude, I love having you on, bro. You're a very genuine motherfucker, bro. You keep it real. There's no act. There's no shtick. It's fucking Askar, uncensored always, bro.
Simple. You know what I mean?
Listen, tell the people where to find you, though, man, because I think that you're building a nice fan base with my cult following.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Honestly, thank you for having me. But it's everything, all my social media is AKMMA94. You know what I mean? I try to fucking put good content on my fights up, some funny shit up. I always like to, you know what I mean? I like to laugh, so I like to make people laugh. And then I love that's one thing I love about fighting, just creating highlights and just putting them up. So it's like I got a TikTok and an Instagram. I used to have a Facebook, but I'm like, I feel like Facebook's for old motherfuckers. So got all Facebook. But yeah, TikTok and Instagram on AKMMA94. And, you know, hopefully you'll see me here more often.
Yeah, listen, follow Askar, bro. He's the fucking man. He's the Mac. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. We've been here almost 2 hours. I'm about to sign off. I'm dropping the weigh-in recap show tomorrow. I'm going to go through and timestamp everything, so wish me luck on that because that's about to be
good luck, Chief.
The battle, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
thank you, guys. You're all incredible. I got mad love for each and every one of you tuning in. Smash the like, subscribe if you're new. Keep it locked in at MMA Experts. And make sure to give Mike Finch a subscribe too. His link to his channel is in the description. Thank you all so much, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace, guys.
Oh boy.